Did you know though that like
We're talking sneakers.
I know that the Converse are bad. You have hardened feet on the bottom.
Yeah.
I have. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have such dainty, soft
Little lady feet.
The under my dog's hair. If I go barefoot in my house, my dog's hair sticks in my feet.
Wow.
Like I have such soft.
Have you had real foot problems or like bunions or corns
nothing,
No.
No, you need to get out into nature more, bare feet.
I think maybe because my weight, because I love to run long distance.
Yeah.
So I got plantar fasciitis, like the worst you've ever, like I could barely get out of bed.
Really?
I used to
And then
run
I got insoles, and then I have because I wear so many different shoes all the time, said it made it worse.
Yeah.
But then I have insoles. I just put the insoles in the shoe, and I have no problems.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
I never had a problem. I ran a 100-kilometer race for the Navy up and down mountains. No
Nothing.
dramas. Didn't even train for it.
God bless you.
Yeah, just I don't know, just lucky.
Is more pressure or less pressure or equal pressure put on that foot?
Most of my pressure's on the good leg.
Most of the pressure.
Yeah, it does most of the work. Like I have to do a lot of sort of rolling on balls and stuff like that to loosen up my hips.
I was going to say, does that give you hip issues since one's carrying all the weight?
Yeah, nothing serious because I look after it. Those physio balls and even a baseball, you get that into your glutes and your hips.
Rolling on it?
Incredible. Yeah, it hurts like a mother, but it's so good for loosening up all your lower back, your hips, your legs, all that stuff.
Yeah, you're in great shape. You stay in great shape.
Yeah, I try.
And vegan.
Oh, are you vegan?
Yeah, 4 years.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, love it.
What
man.
made you go vegan?
Oh, I was working with Damien Manda, who runs the International Anti-Poaching Foundation. His documentary comes out today, actually, Akashinga.
On what?
It's on, I believe, Nat Geo.
Okay.
I'm not supposed to promote them because I'm on Discovery Channel's
Sorry.
But it's a story about his team, all-female run anti-poaching unit, from the rangers to the managers to everyone. It's all female. They've got laughed at by the guys in the beginning, and now everyone gives them the respect that they deserve. It's called Akashinga, which means the brave ones.
And they're trying to save animals where?
In Zimbabwe.
Can I ask you something about the anti-poachers? Because I know they're poachers, obviously, just by definition, they're not following any laws. Did they have to follow any laws when they hunt hunting poachers isn't the right term, but you know what I mean.
I believe when Damien first went out there, the law was, I think it was Mugabe said that poachers could be shot on sight.
That's what I had heard.
Yeah.
That you're allowed to hunt the poachers.
But him being a humongous white Australian guy, he didn't want to get anyone offside. So he was trying to arrest them, and that's what he continued to do. So I went out there and worked with him for a couple of weeks shooting a documentary embedded with the Rangers, like went through unarmed combat training. They gave me a 5-minute lesson on how to handle a snake and then gave me a deadly black mamba. So like I immersed myself right into it.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? They gave you, what do you mean they gave it to you?
Like they put
handed
a black mamba on the ground in front of me, gave me the scooping pole.
Yeah.
And so I needed my good hand to grab the tail of the snake, and my job was to get it from the ground, catch it and put it into the tub. And so I needed this hand for catching the tail, and I need this hand for holding the snake pole. And so I put it in my hand, but the problem is when I lift up something heavy, the muscle can activate sometimes, opens the hand and drops it. And so I turned it off. I can press that button, turn the hand off, so it won't open. So I did that, had the pole, scooped up the snake, grabbed the tail, but the weight of the pole and the snake together were too heavy. My wrist rotated, dropped the pole and the snake to the ground. The snake started coming back up the pole towards my face. So I can't, the camera guys have stopped filming. Everyone's screaming at me to drop the snake. They don't know I can't because I've turned the hand off. And so I've got the tail here and I'm doing this crazy snake dance, trying to create distance between its head, its tail, and my body, just bouncing everyone's screaming at me. Finally got it under control, put it in the bucket, and that was it.
Jesus
I'm done with snakes.
And they see, for me, like, there's something in you that isn't in me. Like you got attacked by a shark, but now you swim with sharks. Yeah. See, it's the opposite of, I think, what I would do, which is if I get attacked by a shark, yeah, cool, lesson learned.
Yeah, the black mamba would be a hard path. I'm like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, but so is it just like is it for you just an adrenaline thing, or is it for something where you're like, I just have never done it, so I'm gonna do it?
I just figured I'm Australian.
That's sharks, snakes.
Yeah. Dog bit my whole nose off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Animals love me. Yeah, when I was a kid, I gave a strange dog a hug because we weren't allowed to have pets in my
bad
house.
idea.
My parents had 4 crazy kids, so no dogs.
Right.
So I'm pretending this dog is my friend, and it's my dog showing off to the other kids to look cool. And I went to give it a hug goodbye, and it just went, ripped my whole nose
my
apart.
God, you and animals, man.
Yeah, they
you
love
still
me.
fuck with
They
them.
love me.
Yet you
They
still
do?
mess with them.
Yeah, I'm so tasty.
But with but with that snake, they were just trying to like
It was part
teach
of
you
the
a
show.
lesson.
No, it was part of the
Oh,
show.
just
it was
for
to
TV.
demonstrate what the rangers have to go up against, what
But
they have to do.
When they hunt, when they're going after the poachers, right?
Yeah.
And you say they were arresting them. The poachers, though, obviously armed with weapons.
Yeah,
Are
if
the poachers shooting at you?
If we didn't encounter any armed poachers when I was there, but if the
Okay.
poachers start shooting, they shoot to kill. Like they'll shoot back.
Jesus Christ.
And are the people who are hunting the poachers like this dude that you're talking about? He's a trained. What's his past?
Yeah,
like,
so
what's his?
he used to be a clearance diver like me. Then he went to the tactical assault group as a sniper with the special forces. Then he got out of the military and he did 12 tours of Iraq. And so he was working as a military contract out there, and then he was training the local government soldiers as
so
well.
poachers ain't shit to him.
They're,
It's not like
they're
they're
pretty
like
full on, man. Like
the poachers are?
They crept into the villages and they've killed a bunch of his rangers in their homes.
What?
Yeah, there was a
Christ.
bounty out on his head. These poachers are ruthless, and they're all funded by the Chinese, partially by the Europeans as well.
Fucking
But
Chinese.
it's the Asian market for
And
rhino
what is
horn.
it? Is it rhino horn?
Rhino horn, yeah, yeah. They're hacking the faces off of these rhinos, and that's what
Jesus
ultimately
Christ,
led
dude.
Damien there. He was there on a break from Iraq. He was doing a safari, and they came across a rhino with its whole head hacked off, and he's like, my skills can be better used here. So
Damn.
he moved there over the course of many years. He utilized his paramilitary training and started the Anti-Poaching Foundation.
So the Chinese are funding these poachers just because they want the horns of the
Yeah,
rhinos.
yeah. So these poachers will get maybe $200, and rhino horn is worth more than gold and heroin once it gets to its final destination.
And yet
So
they're only getting
What are
$200.
they using it for?
They need
medicine,
a manager.
Medicine that doesn't do anything.
No, it's all bullshit.
It's made of keratin. Same shit as our fingernails.
They think it's an aphrodisiac. Like they
Yeah.
think
Same as
yeah.
shark fins. It doesn't do anything.
It's ridiculous.
Wait.
Yeah.
Are you saying I could get money for my fingernails?
Pretty much, yeah.
Because
Same.
I mean, listen, times are tough. You know, we're
Yeah,
not getting-
right. Torns down, my man.
Yeah. How much am I getting for one good fingernail?
I don't know how
Jesus
much heroin
Christ.
is, but it's worth more than that.
I got to tell you, because my toenails are thick.
But these are these poachers well trained?
Oh, they're not well trained, but they are native bushmen. So they know the terrain.
land.
They've been hunting their whole lives, so they know
And
how
I'm
to do it.
assuming that if you're only getting paid $200 for something that is worth way more than that, that means you need that $200.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
It's called subsistence.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
And
right,
then-
right.
And that $200 goes a very long way when you're living in Africa in the wilds.
It's such an interesting thing because, and obviously anti-poaching, but I bet you if you ask the poachers, they'd be like, we're feeding our family.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
I know,
Yeah,
it's
that's
such a-
the dichotomy
I know,
of the
it's a bummer.
situation. You know,
Right. Yeah. I
But
mean,
at the same time, they got to protect this
Yes.
is their vital resource. This is their
100%.
heritage. They
Yeah.
look at them as their family, and so that's why they're willing to risk their lives to go out there and
how big an area? Because I'm assuming if you're anti-poacher, but that's a huge area.
millions of square miles.
So how do you narrow down on where these people are and where they're hunting? Like how?
Or are you
That's the
following the
test.
animals? Are you
Radar?
following the animals?
They use drones. The good Damien said the great thing about the women is that they're fighting not just for the animals, they're fighting for their homes, their families. Whereas the guys would get called in from all different areas of Africa, they'd spend their payment on booze and hookers. Whereas the women are reinvesting into their families, reinvesting into the villages. They're incorruptible, apparently. One of his main guys that I worked with ended up getting corrupted. The women, incorruptible.
Define corrupt.
Yeah.
Basically selling off information to poachers and poaching.
Leaking information.
Leaking information, yeah. And the good thing about women is they love to gossip. So they are incredible at intelligence gathering.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
but this women, this
Don't say
documentary.
it. My wife is going to think she's intelligence
Right?
gathering from now on.
But these women in
You can
this,
use that, Beth.
yeah.
yeah, these women in this documentary, they're not fighting the poachers.
Oh, yeah. Look at that picture, man. She's strapped with a M16.
I'm not even trying to be mean. I thought those were men.
No, they're women.
That is
Jesus Christ.
amazing.
Yeah, that's an
man.
M16.
Yeah.
So, how long has he been over there?
Oh, man. It's got to be nearly 20 years. Yeah, he built it from the ground up. He came back to Australia, sold a bunch of his investment properties that he bought with his deployment money, and started this, moved out there and went in wholehearted. Yeah, he's an incredible guy. And so anyway, the reason I went vegan was because I was out there working with him.
Oh, yeah, you went vegan.
Yeah.
And what was it about being out there that made you Like, why was it just you're like, these are amazing animals? Like, because I know a lot of people, they'll see documentaries on how animals are treated in like
chickens, and cows.
But what was it about being out there with those massive animals?
Damien being a massive hero in the military world back in Australia, I have a lot of respect for him. And I saw him eating one night. He had a separate pot. And I'm thinking, oh, this motherfucker, he's saving the good meat for himself. He's giving the Rangers the shit. So I hit him up. He's like, oh, I don't eat meat. The Rangers eat meat. I'm like, what do you mean you don't eat meat? He's like, well, I'm vegan. I'm like, what's that? And he's like, I don't eat any. I'm like, why? He said, well, I was going out to work every single day to try and protect these animals. And then I was coming home and I was eating a dead animal and I felt like a hypocrite. And that kind of struck a chord with me because in the military, your leaders, if they're poor leaders, they're hypocrites. They live by the do as I say, not as I do. And that's not a good leader. And I want to perpetrate being a good leader in everything I do. And so I hate hypocrites. And so I went home and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go vegan. And I lasted 3 days.
I've been there. Better me. I lasted 8 hours.
Man.
8 hours. That's called in between meals, bro.
I know.
I was like, what the fuck do I
got a
eat?
headache.
That doesn't count as vegan. That just means
I was eating all carbs.
dinner to breakfast.
I was
man.
eating falafel and stuff.
It was from 10 p.m. to
that's
till
as
I
long
wake
as
up.
I
You
lasted,
went to sleep
dude.
and woke up, dude.
Yeah, man, it didn't go well. It didn't go well at all, dude.
had nightmares.
Yeah.
Milk.
I'm telling you, I was
eggs.
shaking. I sweat.
You were like, I was
8
eating
hours.
falafels. That's one meal, motherfucker.
It was all carbs. It was just all carbs.
But they're healthy carbs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
dude, I eat so much. I love eating, and I can eat as much as I want, anything I want.
On vegan.
Yeah.
Has your body changed? You seem to actually be in better shape now than you were.
I kind of am because I don't get any injuries. They reckon there's inflammation attached to dairy products and eggs and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. All I know is I haven't had an injury in 4 years. Like no tendonitis, no nothing.
I'll tell you, for me, and I'm like 90%
good.
all plant. I have meat every now and then, just because honestly, when I'm on the road or when I'm out with old friends, and I don't want to do the
It's
whole
impossible.
explanation. I'm like, I'll have a piece of whatever tonight, maybe a piece of fish. But when I am clean, and I'm old man, my aches and pains, daily aches and pains are gone because it is inflammation for me. It's all about what it does. My stomach isn't bloated.
Yeah.
There's no inflammation in my body.
It makes sense. It's just a beast to do.
It's hard,
The
man, for me.
discipline's
Oh,
insane.
It's really not once you get used to it. Like,
Really?
I don't even think about it anymore. And I've been there with the traveling and stuff. It's, going through multiple airports in one day and like Texas and Arizona. You're like, there is nothing to eat here.
Yeah.
And so I pack some bars and stuff like that. Now I've had to go hungry, but some people think that would make you want to change so you can eat. But actually what it does for me is it makes me more driven to not give in.
To stick to it.
Yeah.
You tell me when you were in Texas and at a barbecue place, you weren't like, you don't have any jackfruit barbecue?
That'd be tough.
Actually, you'd be surprised, mate.
Really?
A lot of them do,
Yeah.
But sometimes I'll just get a whole bunch of the sides. I don't really care. It's not that important to me to have to eat meat. I'd rather not have the animal die and just live a life. Trust me, I know what it's like to be eaten. It sucks.
This
Fair point.
now
For the listeners that are just listening.
Yeah.
You have a, what would you call it?
Robotic prosthetic leg.
And arm?
6 microprocessors. Accelerometer.
Due to a bull shark, is that correct?
Yeah, bull shark in Sydney Harbour when I was in the Navy.
For me, man, one of the big, and you and I met when I was doing that Shark After Dark.
And that's Shark Week Discovery Channel.
Yeah, and by the way, that was the Tara Reid episode.
Which is on right now, actually. Shark Week's on.
It's on right now.
We're in Shark Week right now.
Yeah.
Are you just doing media nonstop or no?
Pretty much, yeah. I did a couple of hours this morning. I did 3 hours, back 21 interviews via Zoom
Are
yesterday.
you sick of it?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's the same, I got to tell the same story over and over and over again. Like, I don't mind talking about the shows, but me having to retell the Shark Attack story
nightmare.
over and over and over and
Nightmare.
over. It's a pain in the ass. But at the same time, it's important to get that across because it's part of my message: overcoming adversity, embracing change, improvise, adapt, and overcome. All that sort of good stuff that I talk about. I might be doing one in Cincinnati, and then there's one down in Florida, and so these are the first time these people have ever heard me tell that story.
But is it only a grind during Shark Week?
Yeah, it's the biggest grind during Shark Week. But
And is Shark Week still doing like? To me, I'm like, how many videos can they get of great whites biting? Like,
been going
how do
for
they keep
32
it?
years.
I know, but to me, it's like I can't believe they're the best at it because it's like how much footage are they going to get of these fucking sharks?
Well, they're
how
also-
many different spins can they do on the shark?
They're learning
Studies.
more and more every
Exactly,
year.
yeah,
There
new
is like
sciences. So my show that's on tonight, Great White Double Trouble, looks at the two genetically different populations of great white sharks that scientists have discovered. There's a population on the east coast and there's a population on the south and west coast, and they don't cross into each other's territory. There's a underwater land bridge between Melbourne and Tasmania that eons ago was out of the water. But the sharks, I guess because of instinct, don't cross that land bridge.
Interesting.
And they travel down past Tasmania and meet in New Zealand, but they don't crossbreed.
the Crips and the Bloods.
Weird, yeah.
Yeah, really weird.
West
So
Side
we looked at
Story.
that. We looked at which ones are more deadly, why.
But that's the thing. I mean, I did it for 2 years, and the difference. And I asked the same question second year. I'm like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah.
And they said, "Yeah, but there's still so much for us to learn. We're learning how they mate, where they mate, where they give
Technology's
birth."
getting better.
We tested out a shark-proof wetsuit this year.
Remember,
Did it
we
work?
did the shark.
It was
proof-
incredible. It really was.
We did that chainmail thing
Yeah.
the year I was on. I told you
That's when
about
you got
that.
stabbed.
It's heavy, right?
Oh, it was so fucking
It's like
heavy.
35, 40 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Mike Tyson in it this year. He
Didn't Mike Tyson fight a shark
No, I taught him how to knock it out without using his fists.
by flipping it upside down?
Well, overstimulating the nose, the ampullae of Lorenzini. It's sensory perception tools. So you can flip it over, and I've done that. But by tickling the nose, you can put it.
What kind of shark did he do it on?
He did it on a Caribbean reef shark.
Just so you know, there's a part of my body that if you tickle, I'll roll over to.
Speak it, brother.
Yeah, the marketing on the Mike Tyson thing, because it showed him like dragging the cage,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, I don't know if I'm into this.
Yeah, well, it was clickbait, mate. It was
100%.
really.
I'm sure
great
people
journey of
tuned in,
discovery.
right?
Dude. We got such great
What,
feedback.
what do
I
you
bet.
find when people go and haven't been in front of those massive creatures when they come up? Like all these, you've done it with Will Smith and
Yeah.
now with Mike. Like,
Ronda
is
Rousey.
is there a because these are all immensely successful, confident people who've dominated every aspect of their lives. Is there a commonality when they come out after they touch a shark or swim with a shark that they're like, it's almost a little more humility or like
You know what? They
they're
were different every time. Ronda Rousey could not get enough. She loved it. There is a reason that woman is an absolute world champion in everything she does.
Right.
She processes information. She takes it on board. She listens and
smart,
implements
man.
it. Yeah.
She's very
Is she smart?
Which was
Very
important because I was teaching her how to hand feed a bull shark. And so,
Dude,
yeah.
those are they have the most testosterone of anything in the world.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Why
Bull
would you
sharks
hate-
and tiger sharks, or no?
Bull
Bull
sharks.
sharks.
Bull
Just
sharks,
bull.
yeah. Pound for pound, they have the strongest bite as well.
Jesus Christ.
And then so she was amazing. Will Smith was great, but once we got the job done, once he pushed a tiger shark up over his head, he cut it and he left. And then we had Mike, and he had a whole journey to go through. And he was so terrified. I came up after one dive. He was pulling off his mask as he was throwing up pink stuff all over the back of the boat. He was terrified. And so working with him was great because he was scared the whole way through.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he finally came on board and he's like, that was one of the greatest things I've ever done in my life.
That's cool,
Now, in
man.
comparison, I've also worked with, on one show, we had Joel McHale, Adam Devine, Rob Riggle,
I remember that.
Anthony Anderson, and
Yeah.
Damon Wayans Jr.
And what happened?
Working with comedians underwater.
Gail's great.
It's like trying to herd mosquitoes.
Is it a nightmare?
Anthony Anderson nearly died. So Anthony Anderson was in this like yellow submersible thing where his head's just out of the water. And so the diver took him down and he, are you okay? Kind of gave him a thumbs up. And Anthony gave him the go up signal, but he thought he was saying, yeah, I'm good.
Oh.
Anthony's ears were nearly exploding. So he ducked out of the submarine and swum all the way to the surface, which is really dangerous.
Isn't that to get the bends?
No, the bends is different.
Yeah.
The bends is where your body absorbs a certain amount of nitrogen and then you come up too quickly and the gas in your blood expands.
So why was his dangerous?
Because he was swimming rapidly from the bottom to the surface in a shark area. And so obviously sharks are attracted to their predatory nature and they'll pursue something that is erratic and swimming away, investigating it for food.
That's what Andy told me. Andy
Casagrande.
Casagrande, a great guy,
Yeah.
great underwater photographer, and cinematographer. So I asked him. I remember I asked him on the show. I said, "Well, what's the deal if you're swimming up to the surface and a shark? Because they are predatory, but they like to come up from underneath.
Yeah.
That's how they. And he said, you got to turn around and swim at it because
Yeah.
it's not used to
Jesus
anything.
Christ.
And I was like, that's not my instinct. He said, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, Andy taught me the best thing, and I always tell this to everyone: don't act like food, and they won't treat you like food.
Yeah, he said swim at it because nothing in the ocean swims at a shark like that.
But here's my thing with that.
For a good reason, by the way.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing with those shark experts. Have we ever seen anyone swim at the shark like a great white and be successful? Because they said the same thing with a bear. Have you heard this story? They go, you see a bear, you get big and tall and scared.
Yeah, hold your bag above your head so you look bigger.
And have you seen what happened with the Cub Scout leader?
No.
You get all his scouts behind him, and they just stumbled upon a bear in Yellowstone, grizzly bear. And the bear goes, "Oh, cool." And he goes, "Kids, sit tight. I know what to do. I have my training. I'm an Eagle Scout, grown man, Eagle Scout." So he gets all loud and goes at the bear, and the bear goes, "Cool story, dude. I'm going to eat your ass first in front of all your Cub Scouts."
No way.
Ate him alive.
Oh, my.
And the scientist is like, "Yeah,
I'm an Eagle Scout. Really? I'm a fucking bear.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
I don't know what that
or it's like with the mountain lions, those guys in Seattle, they're riding their bike and see a mountain lion, they go, get big, scared away. So these two guys got big and put their bikes over their head, and the mountain lion was like, "Oh, cool, fellas," and then ate the other one alive while the other one ran off. And while the other one was running, went, "Hold on, buddy," and then tracked him down.
That was a real Hannibal Lecter move. I'm going to kill you just slowly, but let me go get the other one first.
Huh?
Did you see the video yesterday of that family out at the park? Had the bear sit at the table
the black
and
bear.
fed it peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?
Yeah.
What? That's the dumbest fucking group of... That's a bear.
Yeah.
Dude, right here.
It's some white
Paul,
people.
did you not see
it's some
this?
white
I
people
have not
shit.
seen this.
They look,
What the?
they're feeding it.
It's
Is that the dumbest thing you've ever seen in your life? How quickly, we talked about how quickly John Jones could get rid of 10 people.
This isn't a setup.
No, dude.
They don't like. That's not like their bear. And
I don't
this
like
is
how
in
calm
Germany
they
or
are
something.
either.
Oh my God.
What country is this in?
Oh, that has to
It
be.
seems
man.
Russian.
That has
It
to be
seems
man.
Russian.
It seems,
and we all
it
know
seems
what
like a Russian
Russians
move.
are crazy.
Yeah. Nope, Miller Lite. That's not Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
we're-
there's a line between brave and crazy, and Russians are on the other side of that line.
Man, I'll tell you one thing. I have a 4-year-old son, and I got my Unagi scooter sent to the studio. I brought it home. Me and him have been riding this thing like a madman. Unagi scooters. It's portable, stand-up electric scooter. It's super light. It's pretty powerful, man, and it's fast. It's only 26 pounds. One click, it folds up. So I put it in the garage. Has a decent range, 15 miles. You can go 20 miles an hour. So obviously that range depends how fast you're driving. But it's pretty fun, man. It's the build quality is ridiculous. It looks sweet. It was named the best all-around electric scooter by CNET. Just won first place for best electric scooters of 2020 by Tom's Guide. So Tom thinks he knows what he's doing, all right? This is the device that fixes the future of commuting in this age of COVID. Personal transportation without risk of public subways, buses, shared Ubers. Forget about all that. Get this fly-ass scooter. It's like having your own magic carpet. You can get your own Unagi scooter right now. Go to unagiscooters.com, UNAGI scooters.com. It's basically the Tesla of scooters. This thing looks fly, drives fast. Kiddos love it. I put them on it. I don't know if that's safe, but I still do it. You can use the promo code TFATK for $150 off your own Unagi E500 while supplies last. Again, that's UNAGI scooters.com, unagiscooters.com, promo code TFATK for $150 off your own Unagi scooter. Listen, kid, now is the time to get your student loan payments under control. You could be saving by refinancing your student loans with Earnest. You guys need to check in with refinancing with Earnest. Could help lower your monthly payments. Checking in takes just 2 minutes. Is your student loan payment super crazy high? Well, Earnest can help you guys out by lowering your monthly payment. Interest rates have hit record lows, which means it's a great time to refinance your student loans and see if you can lower your monthly payment right now. If you've been making the same monthly payment on your student loan for the last couple of years, odds are you could reduce your payment and save by refinancing with Earnest. Even if you refinanced before, we got you, man. Today's low rate environment could really help you guys. Checking your rate is fast. It's easy to start. Complete a few quick questions online. It takes only 2 minutes. Then you get a personalized rate estimate without affecting your credit score. Want to change your monthly payment? We got you, man. Earnest makes it easy. Plus, the internet loves Earnest customer service. They're rated 9.4 out of 10 on Trustpilot. So, You can get $100 cash bonus when you refinance a student loan with earnest.com/fighter. Terms and conditions apply. That's $100 for free when you refinance a student loan at earnest.com/fighter. Terms and conditions apply. $100 cash bonus when you visit earnest.com/fighter. Visit earnest.com/fighter for more details. Terms and conditions apply. Earnest student loan refinance loans are made by Earnest Operations, LLC, NMLS, number 1204917, California Financing Law, license number 6054788-303 2nd Street, Suite 401, and San Francisco, California 94107. Visit earnest.com/license for full list of licensed states. Again, that's earnest.com/fighter.
It's so bananas to me.
So do we have any evidence someone seen a great white and swimming at it?
We do it all the time.
Oh, you guys
Yeah,
do it.
we do it all the time.
All right,
If
well,
sharks come,
case
I
solved.
had to do a show year before last called Laws of Jaws 2, and we're testing out the blood theory. We all hear that sharks can smell a drop of blood in 10,000 leagues of ocean. And so we drained a half a liter of my blood out on the back of the boat. Then I jumped off the back of the boat, swam out, and then I ripped open the bag, and I had this big plume of my own blood around me. And there was tiger sharks, bull sharks, hammerheads, lemons. Didn't do a single thing. And then, so as I was swimming back in, they threw a bucket of fish blood off the back, and they all went crazy. And I had to swim through that, and I was just pushing them off as I go. And the secret is, you've got to be a bigger, badder predator. But you meet it with aggression, they'll meet you with aggression. But you show them that you're not scared and you're a
interesting.
predator, then they give you that respect.
Oh,
Wait, I have so many questions. Okay, so what's the difference between being aggressive and being a bigger predator? It seems like we're talking about the same.
Well, if you're aggressive, then you're
Bully.
punching it.
Right.
You're jabbing it with a stick. You're only. What happens if there's a dog barking at you? You start jabbing it with a stick or start trying to kick it.
Right.
It's going to
Attack,
get. It's going to attack you. It's going to want to eat you. Same as with sharks. These are wild, unpredictable animals. Like, you never know 100%. Like the bear stories of eating the scout leader's butthole.
I might have made up he ate him ass first, but he killed him. He killed him.
Never
It
let
makes
the
the story better. Makes better story. What I want to know is when Discovery's going, so this Shark Week will finish, and then for next year, is there like a writers meeting, like you guys, and are you in on it? You're like, all right, next year, what are we looking at? And someone's like,
No,
dude, let's take
nothing.
his blood.
At certain points through the year, I just get given these stories, and usually it's Discovery Channel trying to kill me.
Yeah, was there any safety precautions set up around you swimming in blood? Were there other divers?
What's the insurance policy?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be paying for that. I had 2 divers on the bottom, safety divers, but
What are they going to do?
Nothing. You can't do anything. It's unpredictable.
They're like, yeah, you bet them.
I don't think there's any other show on television where people are literally risking their lives every time we shoot. It's wholly dangerous.
Have you ever seen what was the show I loved, Chin? I think it was Discovery. It got canceled. The two guys that got bit by all the animals. It was like Pain, Kings of Pain.
Kings of Pain, yeah.
And they went through the top 10 animals that went all over the world.
Why would you do that?
The finale, they get a boa constrictor they caught in the jungle, and they put their arms out for the boa constrictor and fuck with it. It fucks these guys up so bad, man.
Did you see the guy who also does the murder hornet and he does the 10 biggest?
That's these guys, but on steroids. You're talking about my boy Coyote Peterson?
Yes.
Coyote's great. These guys, they're like,
Do they get bit?
They're just like jackass with
Get
animals.
the fuck out.
They do a scorpion fish. They plant their hand in the scorpion fish. They do the murder
the boa
hornet.
constrictors have rows of teeth. They
Yeah.
don't have fangs.
His elbow gets destroyed.
No.
Destroyed.
So-
they actually got it's on history.
But
They actually
why?
got one season only.
I know why.
One
Like, I
season
go
only.
into my stuff and I don't try to
You're
get
trying
bit.
not to
I
get bit,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. These guys, this is madness.
It was a great show though. So entertaining. They got fucked up.
I can't even imagine like wanting to know what that feels like. Although I will tell you, I got tear gassed a couple months back
That stuff hurts.
That's a nightmare.
because I was down on Beverly during the protests and they shut off the tear gas. And I was like, I should run back to my house. But then I was like, when am I ever going to get a chance to see what tear gas is like? So I walked right up into it and I was like, that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
But
Awful.
it is just, I think it's worse for some people than for others.
Yeah, we get gassed and pep sprayed in the military, and it affects people differently.
Yeah.
For my younger brother, so they put you in this brick room, and then they put on the tablets of what they call CS gas. It's one of the most powerful tear gases you can get. And then you go in your gas mask and they say, all right, everyone take it off. And then you've got to say your name, your rank and your number. And my brother's in there. Everyone else is spluttering, coughing, begging to get out. My brother's just standing there like nothing's wrong. Just
damn, it didn't
waving
affect
in the
him.
window. Didn't do anything to him.
For tasers,
Weird.
some people, it's
Sounds
that
like
way with
Corona.
tasers too, you know. I got tased in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Why?
Purpose
dude?
or
Were you protesting again?
Yeah. So there used to be a funny bone down there. And on the local cops who wore like orange vests, they were different. They would come in on Thursday and go, "Hey, we tased the headliner at the end late show Saturday." And I thought it was a
no,
joke.
you don't.
I was like, "Yeah, ha ha ha."
how did they
ha.
get approval for that?
Yeah, I
No
know.
approval. This was a few years back.
You sign a waiver?
And no.
Oh, Lord.
And they kept saying ha 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 ha. And I asked the people who work there, I'm like, but what? And they go, no. They come back. I said, so every comic has been tased. And they go, no, Pauly Shore wasn't tased because he left before Saturday Late Show.
There's no way.
They
Is this
got me.
on stage? They just come up behind
no,
you and go,
after
and for the
show-
finale,
After the show, everybody was gone.
Definitely illegal, but whatever.
And
Yeah.
they got me. They said, do you want to take the zit? And they got me with the zit.
And it hurt like a motherfucker.
It wasn't great, man. It was not great at all.
did you wet yourself?
No, but I asked them, I go, does everybody, and they say, some people, and none of the comics, but they say you can shoot some people with that taser, and it just doesn't.
Yo, we've seen that with
called,
cops.
it's,
with
Affect
it's called
shooting.
meth.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Meth is a hell of a drug. But yeah, I those type of things, when you see them, like the same thing with the tear gas, I've always wanted to know, but now that I know,
I don't want to know.
I don't need to know.
No, I'm
You're
good.
not curious at all?
No, not really. No, I'm
Oh,
good.
I'm so.
I've been electrocuted like with hard static electricity, and I don't want that.
You know, like, yeah, when you rub your feet on the carpet?
Yeah, no.
Is it like one of my bucket list things is to see a great white in the ocean, like go
Yeah.
in the cage and do all that? But that
Come with us. We
that's
go
frowned
in
upon,
October.
right?
No.
Really?
Do you go to Mexico when you do
Yeah,
it?
we go to Guadalupe Island, sail out of San Diego. We got a trip in October. We
October
got
what?
4 spaces left.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd like.
What do
go
I have
too.
to do though?
Nothing. You can do whatever you want. It's all free food, all for all diets, all free wine and beer,
And
hot tub on the boat.
We got to get
It's-
trained before we go.
No, nothing. You don't even have to be dive qualified because it's surface diving. So all you do is you put on your weight belt, we give you a mask and a regulator, you jump off the back end of the cage. We had footage from our last trip
we
last
go?
year, ended up on the news across America. A 16-foot female attacked one of the pontoons on the side of the cage, and her whole body is just shaking this whole
Jesus
cage.
Christ.
3 girls in there, not even panicking, had their cameras out trying to get closer.
Oh, I would. Panic.
You know, the one thing that I saw the last time I did Shark Week, which was amazing to me, I guess I always thought that the sharks were more instinctual than they were intelligent. But they did this show where they put 3 people in a cage and 1 person in a cage. And I was like, oh, the shark is going to attack the 3 people because it's more food. And all the sharks went to the lone,
Why?
easier.
Easier?
It's smaller, so it's going to create less harm for them. I
smaller.
guess.
That's what
Yeah.
they were like, smaller,
bigger
easier.
That happened to
person?
Andy. He was in a one-man
Yes!
cage and it shook bit a whole chunk out of the inflation.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man, I'm in awe of it. I definitely would like to do that.
I would love that.
I because it's it's a huge fear for me.
There is nothing you can do in this world that will replicate doing that. Like no other feeling, no other sensation, nothing. It's incredible.
You've touched the great whites. You've swum out of the cages with them.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Andy did it. We did a show called Return to the Isle of Jaws. We dropped a cage. This is in like the middle of nowhere, Australia. It's a really small town attached to it. We're like 3 hours offshore. We had a 2-person cage and we dropped it all the way to the bottom. It was about 110 feet, lifted up the side. We counted 7 different great white sharks on the way down. And then we open up the cage door and Andy's like, all right, I'm going to get out so I can get some better footage.
He's a maniac, by
He's
the
a
way.
maniac. He's like, all right, bro, you got to watch my
Andy?
back.
Dude, Andy's swimming with a camera, so he's not protected.
Yeah. And Andy's
this is
got a
your boy
big
who
camera. He
films
shoots on the
everything?
red, so he pushes them away with the camera.
He's insane.
I got a GoPro on a stick. I'm 30 feet away from the cage, surrounded by 4 great white sharks swimming directly at my head, and I got a GoPro on a stick. And at that point, you kind of just relinquish all control
And
of
you
your life.
enjoy it, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
You love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Because you've been doing it how long?
Oh man, I've 8 years, I think, something like that. Since I think I did my first interview in 2012, and then did my first co-hosting job with Andy 2014.
I feel like 2014 was when we met. Maybe.
Yeah, that was my first year. They
came
flew me out.
Yeah.
I hadn't even been on a show.
Now you're like you're the shark guy for
Wow,
Discovery.
I'm one of them.
He came
there's
out
some
with his
pretty
two
awesome
buddies.
people on there. There's some like Christine Zanato
Yeah.
and Jamin Martinelli, I think her name is. These two chicks, man, are the best shark handlers in the Bahamas.
Is Dickie still doing it?
Dickie's still doing it out of South Africa, yeah. Yeah.
Dickie was this young, crazy kid. He shot this video where he was like, he wanted the shark to attack this little paper thin shark looking thing that
Yeah.
he was floating on. He wanted to.
Well, they wanted the shark to swim up next to it to get an accurate size, but he was floating on this thin piece of
balsa
I don't know,
wood,
plastic,
basically.
yeah, something.
He's
mad.
absolutely insane.
But all those videos you see on social media, on Facebook and stuff, of the person in the chainmail removing all the hooks and flipping up the sharks upside down, that's Christina. That's and Jamin. That's two chicks.
There's probably only a handful of you guys, though. You know what I'm saying?
There's
There's
a
not like a
few.
shit ton of
No,
people trying to do
no.
all this shark work.
No, most of the
Like who
really,
are good at it, I mean.
the really good ones are all part of the ecotourism. So Stewart Coves out of the Bahamas. There's a couple out of the Bahamas. There's a few out of Fiji. That's where we took Rhonda and taught her how to hand feed bull sharks.
What's left on the insane list that's still on your bucket list? Like you seem to have.
Yeah, you've kind of done it all.
Yeah.
I don't know.
how's this
Yeah,
end?
Black mamba,
They
great
threw me
white.
out of a plane 2 years ago, 15,000 feet directly into the ocean to survive for 44 hours. No food, no water, surrounded by sharks.
Wait.
This was on Discovery?
What?
Yeah.
I missed that one. What?
Yeah. So we did a show 3 years ago called Shark Wrecked. And they blew up our boat, me and a British Special Forces guy. They blew up our boat to signify, so many people get trapped out at sea. Also, it was to demonstrate the largest shark attack in history, which was the USS Indianapolis in the Philippine Sea.
Oof.
300 sailors eaten by oceanic white-tip sharks.
How long ago was that?
Oh man, World War II.
Got it.
And so we were semi-replicating that a little bit, but we couldn't do it out there because commercial fishing had wiped out the populations. So it was an underlying message there. We had to do it in the Bahamas, 44 hours surrounded by oceanic white-tip sharks known as the wolves of the sea, and no food, no water. And so the next year they had to up the ante. And what we did was I had to get parachute trained. Like I've done static line in the army, but I've never done free fall. So I had to get free fall licensed and then parachute directly into the ocean off the coast of Palau, which is a Pacific island known for some of the heaviest fighting in World War II. George Bush Sr. was shot down there. And so we were semi-replicating what would happen if a pilot was shot down and had to survive. And so that was crazy as well. But I nearly died on the practice
Where were you
jump.
floating on?
Yeah.
Were you just in
Nothing.
sea?
Yeah, the first night, as sun went down, they dropped off what the pilots would have had, a small inflatable 4-man raft. 2 of us could just fit in it. And we're in that honestly, it was worse than being in the ocean. We were curled up in like a yin and yang together, and it was raining and it was windy. Somehow James had this little dome over his head. I had the plastic roof in my face all fucking night. It was maddening. And so I got no sleep. I'm super testy. And then we got another day and a whole nother night.
Fuck, dude.
And going into that second night is the worst because you've got 8 full hours of total darkness, sharks everywhere, and you just
Are things bumping your boat?
Yeah. I woke up on the first show on the first night we
How
had this
big? By the
metal
way, how big
pen.
are we talking about? But like, are you?
A little bit bigger than that table.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and so that sunk that morning, and then the next night we didn't have it. But we had this like cube metal with nets around it. And I woke up, I was kind of like drifting in and out of sleep. My head was on the metal edge, and I woke up to this boom. And I was like, what the boom? The whole cage is shaking. I'm like, no way that's a shark. And then a fin comes up next to my face and goes down. I was like, oh, I'm not sleeping the rest of the night. No more sleeping.
But no one got attacked or anything.
They came at us, but we did what we're trained to do, just push them away, show them you're a predator. So they were constantly investigating us, especially when they started throwing bait into the water.
Wait a second. When you say
Jesus
investigating,
Christ,
investigating, so they'll come up
Curious.
because I had
Yeah.
heard that first. A lot of times before they attack you, they'll come up and kind of
Bump you.
Yeah. But don't let them bump you twice, is what I was told.
Well, don't let them bump you once if you can help it, because you never know when a bump's going to turn into a nibble. So you just got to be careful, man. They're wild animals. The great part about sharks is, though, there is no other apex predator on Earth that will let you share its space, except for perhaps a black bear in Russia. But
And if
yeah.
you have peanut butter and jelly.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or Wyoming, but yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
but you can't run across the savannah expecting not to get eaten by a lion, a hyena, a jaguar, whatever, or go out into North America and not expect a mountain lion's going to rip your guts out.
Yeah.
But a shark, great white, tigers, bull sharks, all of them, so many millions of people are terrified of these animals, yet these are the ones that will let you share that space with them.
Every day in Santa Monica, I had Andy tell me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, man, I'm scared of sharks. That's why I just go in the water out in Santa Monica. And he was like, it's exactly, he said, if you've been up in Santa Monica up to your waist, you've been within 4 feet of a shark. Guaranteed.
Really? Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said guaranteed.
Is it from Santa Monica to Santa
migrate
Barbara?
all up the California coast.
And it's the juvenile great whites that are out here in Santa Monica, which is why people don't die from the bites. Is that right? They're learning how to attack.
Yeah.
And so, but as soon as I heard that, I'm like, well,
Christ.
take Santa Monica.
Yeah, well, they had a guy up in Santa Cruz die recently.
Yeah.
Which sucks. And, you know, they're all the way up through San Francisco. We know they're up there around the, what do they call that? The Farallon Islands, the Devil's Teeth.
Yeah.
Huge great white sharks up there. And we were going to do a show called Nuclear Sharks, I think. Now, up off the Farallons, the US Navy sunk one of the Bikini Atoll testing warships where they had it doing the nuclear testing. And this thing had been blasted with radioactive waves. Then they put 42,000 barrels of nuclear waste on it and sunk the ship off the Farallons. And some of the barrels were popping to the surface, so the sailors were shooting them to get water into them to sink. Obviously, nuclear waste is coming out as well. So they wanted to do this show up there looking into if that has created some super aggressive great whites. But apparently they're huge out there.
Well, maybe it might have something to do with the nuclear waste.
Yeah.
Like
This four-headed shark, I don't know.
Ninja Turtles.
Sharktopus is real.
But so let me ask you this: you might be like, dude, too much. But when they're like, hey, so 44 hours in the ocean, no net, you're gonna be, balls to butt with this guy
No
on the
food,
ocean,
no
food,
water.
nothing. Do you get paid more for that?
No. I know.
I'd be like,
my contract's up this year. I'm asking for a raise.
By the
You
way,
have to,
Yeah.
because is it just across the board? If you're doing that, or you're just doing something fun, you get paid the same.
Well, look, I've got to agree to it. Yeah, I'm on a contract with Discovery Channel, so I get paid a certain amount per show.
I'm just
I
gonna
do
tell you-
3 shows a year.
Brendan, I don't know.
3 shows a year?
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with cable. They don't exactly have the deepest pockets in the world.
Well,
So,
Discovery Channel does.
Discovery.
I mean, they have to because they're putting you in the ocean with great white sharks.
Yeah, these shows we shoot are really expensive to
have
make.
to.
Anything on the
Have
ocean is
to be.
hard.
Oh, dude.
You got underwater cameras. You
Yeah,
got
it's the whole
surface cameras,
staff.
yeah, exactly.
And then again, there's not a lot of people. To your defense, there's not a lot of people who can do it.
No. There's a plethora of scientists they could bring on board. And I think that's one of the things that they need to do more of. There hasn't been a great matrix of race and sexual diversity. Like, we didn't have many, I haven't seen all the shows this year, but
Well, that's in
there
the
wasn't
sea now
that
too,
many
huh?
women scientists on it, which is something, like, I've worked with women scientists on Shark Week shows in the past, but I didn't notice that many this year.
Yeah.
Is
And
there
also-
a lot though? To their defense,
Yeah,
like
there's plenty. There's plenty. Yeah,
we had.
Yeah, absolutely. They obviously, in anything that you do, you can always do it a bit better, and every year you learn a little more. So hopefully they'll take it on board. But also, you need to not just be a scientist; you need to be good on camera.
Yes.
And so some of the
Oh, I mean,
people,
that's-
men and women, that we've
By the way,
had on camera
that's
are
the big
terrible.
one.
most scientists don't become scientists because they're good on camera.
This- That was the problem with getting guests for the show. They were like, we had a scientist, but
Nerd alert.
He can't
It's
say
tough.
4 words in a row.
It's tough,
so,
man.
Yeah, it's a very different feeling to talking about what you know in front of someone.
Yeah.
But as soon as you put a camera on someone, they just
Different
freeze
animal.
up.
what's going on? He's the first year that I met him, he brought his 2 buddies to the show with him. And one of his friends, Chris, who may be the biggest human I've ever
Really?
Shout out to Chris Toops.
Dude,
Down in
this
Georgia.
dude's body, it's like
Like healthy, big, or like big,
he's got
big?
muscles
Both,
on his
yeah.
hands.
Yeah, he's huge. He's 6'4", 340 pounds. I think he's dropped down to
thick.
about 320 now. His arms are like.
What's he doing?
He was a Navy CB, so engineer for the Special Forces out of Coronado.
Stud.
20
Massive.
years, huge.
Great dude.
Talks like this. He's from Louisiana
That's cool.
originally.
But your
My name's
other
Chris
friend,
Toops.
who you brought that first year, we were drinking in the green room before the show, and he didn't make
Oh, that was Jimmy. Was it Jimmy?
Yeah, he didn't make it.
Oh yeah, Jimmy. That night he left our hotel room and he didn't come back for an hour. Like, where the hell is Jimmy? We opened the door. He's sitting outside the door on his hands and knees, almost in tears. Like, I was lost. I couldn't find you. Like, dude, you got to calm down on the drinking.
That was also the year Tara Reid couldn't quite understand why you were wearing a glove.
Yeah.
No matter how many times
we were
we explained
laughing
it to
so
her,
hard at that.
I couldn't get enough. You're so kind.
She couldn't work out how a whale and a shark would make a whale
It's
shark.
fantastic. We watched the clip. It's fantastic.
Didn't you? You said you went into her dressing room and she was sipping a bottle of wine. Then she'd take a blue pill.
Yeah.
Pink pill, blue pill.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I was like, this is going to be a great interview.
Yeah,
this is just no way she's going to be awake for this. But she was a pro. She kept both eyes open. I mean, what are you going to do?
She said, man, Paul, I love Australia because Australians don't judge me. They love to party as hard as I do. And I was like, it's true. They do.
She was great, man. Did they still do Shark After Dark?
Yeah, Josh Gates is doing it via Zoom calls at the moment. So I did mine with him.
Zoom's tough.
Last night, I think it was on. Yeah, it's been hard. Like I'm like you guys. You guys get on stage and do your shows. I get on stage at conferences and do motivational speaking, and it's just all the jobs have been cut by half. The pay's been cut by half, but you just keep doing it. You do it by Zoom or whatever.
Who do you feel like? Because I've watched clips of your motivational speaking, and you told me before that when you show pictures of your injuries, that it's dudes who will throw up in the audience.
Yeah, they pass out. I haven't
pass
anyone
out.
throw
You
out.
show real
Real footage. I show the footage of the shark attack. I show the surgery.
Dude, you have
Depending
all
on-
that?
All of it. So I've got not
I
just
wish we could
photos
see it.
of the. You can. It's on the internet.
Can I tell you when we went?
It's like very far.
Paul, one of the craziest things in my life, and I've been able to interview people. I interviewed Bill Gates, dude.
Yeah.
One of the craziest things was listening to you as you and I were watching the shark attack together.
If you go to my YouTube page, I've got some of those like little motivational videos that I made, and
With the pictures and stuff?
The video of the shark attack and the pictures are on
You
that.
you
what I'm
said
looking
I was like, how can you watch this? And you were like, it's like a completely
Yeah,
different.
I had a very different view.
Yeah.
Very.
Is this you or someone else?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
Yeah,
That is-
but like it's so amazing that you can watch.
But if you go
that
a little
video.
further down, I kind of relish in it. There's so little motivation. Yeah, anything with like the motivation or whatever there.
Yeah, the pictures.
Go
Yeah.
up a fraction.
This one?
Up a fraction to the next one. I think on the far right there.
This
or
one?
the next one up. Yeah, that should be in there somewhere.
Okay.
It's Brendan. It is gnarly.
Yeah,
Is it?
I might go take a quick pee break.
Yeah. do your thing while you watch
Dude, it is absolutely gnarly, man. But like, I would want to just. It's a different dude. Like if you look at that first picture.
We'll be able to show this, right, Jen? If it's
The song we can't do, so I'll just show
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, man, this weekend, UFC 252, Stipe, DC, it's happening. My lock of the week is JDS over Rosenstruck. Watch the big fight, watch the NBA, watch NHL, watch MLB, watch PGA, soccer, all the sports are booming, and you want to make money, use DraftKings. DraftKings has brought their expertise to legalize sports betting. It's legitimate sportsbook based right here in the US of A. DraftKings, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is safe, secure, it's reliable. You can deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience. This weekend, new users bet $1 to win $252. That's right. Place $1 on either the main event for UFC 252, and you have the chance to win $252. Can't beat those odds. New users get a sign-up bonus up to $1,000. So head right now to the app. Check out all they have to offer, including player props, live betting, so much more. All right. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the code FIGHTER when you sign up. For a limited time, all new users can get a sign-up bonus up to $1,000. That's right. DraftKings Sportsbook has a sign-up bonus up to $1,000. Just enter the code FIGHTER when you sign up only at DraftKings Sportsbook and bet on UFC 252 this Saturday. Must be 21 or older. New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania only. Bonus comprised of first deposit bonus and first bet match, each up to $500. Deposit bonus requires 25 times playthrough. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or in Indiana, check 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
And
What are we talking about?
We were talking about going places or hanging out at parties or gatherings where there's really successful people. And for me, one of the reasons I started doing it, and I hated doing it at first because I'm like, fuck these pretend, fuck. But then my brother was like, you want to be successful, go hang out with the successful people
Yeah.
and pick their brains.
Exactly.
And what do they all have in common? And we start to realize these are a couple traits that all these people have in common. You're like,
You can't
"God."
get me to a party.
Really?
It doesn't need to be like a party till 2 a.m.
It might not be in your wheelhouse. It's not something you need to achieve. But me moving out here, being a little Paul de Gelder from Australia, I wanted to meet these people, and so by putting and I'm an introvert. Like I love being invited to stuff and being able to say, no, I'm good, just gonna hang out at home. Like unless you got some sharks, some bombs, or something, I'm not really that interested.
Yeah, I'm a homebody.
You came to our house, man.
Yeah, it was
for
a great,
my wife's party.
Yeah, it was a great party. Your house is beautiful.
You
I love that sitting room with the bookshelf.
Oh,
You live where?
Marina Del Rey.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And so I forced myself to get outside of my comfort zone. And I swear to God, some of the people I've met at these, they're not parties, they're events.
Right.
Unbelievable people that
Yeah.
have become very good friends, like Tulsi Gabbard, Steve Bellamy, who runs Kodak Film, like so many, like just incredible people. And
I'm not a party guy either, but
No.
I've events where I'm like, all right, there's some people there that I would love to pick their brain or meet or make a contact with. That I definitely made a more concerted effort to do because, like I said, man, when you're around a room full of wildly successful people, if you're paying attention,
Learn something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to go to dinner with, I don't know if you know Sepultura? Sepultura?
Sepultura?
Yeah.
The band?
Yeah. So
Awesome.
The lead singer, I think, Derek Green.
Uh-huh.
So I got to have dinner with him one night at Crossroads Kitchen. And we were talking, and I was like,
It's a vegan place.
yeah, but he's vegan.
That's Travis Barker's joint.
Yeah, it's good food. I
Yeah.
like it there. But I couldn't understand how he made his voice do that. And it's like Alyssa White from Arch Enemy.
Yeah.
Have you heard her sing? She sounds like a demon.
Yeah.
Really?
Like, how do you make your voice do that? And he's like, you got to do these warm-ups. I'm like, can you show me? He's like, I don't want to freak everyone out. I'm like, go on, do it.
Just do it in
So he
the
starts
restaurant?
going, I can't even give it justice, man. Everyone in the restaurant's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it was terrifying.
Yeah, man. Right there. Yeah, who would you say for you, out of all those, did you get to pick Will Smith's brain? You telling me if you had a chance to pick his brain, you wouldn't pick Will Smith's brain?
I'm just different. If you tonight said, "Hey, Will Smith's going to be at Crossroads Restaurant anywhere," I wouldn't drive.
No, but that's not what I'm asking. If you had a chance to pick this dude's brain, because he again is a wildly successful dude who's been successful across a bunch of different platforms.
I love.
But
him.
you wouldn't be interested to pick his brain, or
If you got invited
I don't
to dinner.
know. I wouldn't go. I don't
would
know him
really?
that well. So it's weird. Like
Yeah.
you don't know somebody, and then you're trying to pick their brain. Like I feel like it takes like there's levels to it. You
But
know.
you do it through conversation.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
tactical
I
picking
guess
of
if
the
you're
brain.
there, yeah.
I'm just so curious, man. Especially people I don't know, especially in fields that I don't know anything about. I am so curious when you add all those up and you talk to a bunch of different successful people from a bunch of different fields, and you're like, wait a second, everybody basically took the same first 4 steps?
Yeah, there's a similarity.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. You're like, got it. So to get to here, they're in different places now, but they all basically took the same 3 or 4 steps. Those are the kind of things for me that are invaluable that I would never be able to learn.
I know. I wish I was more.
And you
into
got to
it.
be dedicated. You got to pour your heart and your soul into it.
Yeah.
That's the main step that they all have. They dedicate themselves to
Yeah,
the
I
cause.
also, I guess, I don't think there's anything I can talk to Will Smith about where he's going to say something and seem like, oh, there it is.
Right.
Oh,
You know?
like me, little Paul de Gelder from Canberra, Australia, has anything in common with him either. But that's the good thing about these people. He gets to show a human side of himself. Same with Mike Tyson. I got nothing in common with him, but we hit it off like a house on fire.
Yeah, brother. I hate to. You'd make it no matter if you met Mike Tyson. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like with your work ethic and your brains, you're going to make it regardless.
Brains, not so much. But
Yeah.
he is definitely
He's
got
smart,
work.
dude.
I've done some damage
Yeah,
to this.
Yeah. There's some CT there.
He's
Yeah.
definitely
There's some
working.
I
CT
had
there.
some heavy bumps, and I'm partially deaf from machine guns and bombs. And
What's interesting is I thought Australia was booming as far as COVID. They didn't get shut down or anything, but you were saying that they're pretty locked down, man.
yeah, especially Victoria, so Melbourne, 6-week total lockdown, almost martial law, police patrolling the streets, finding anyone that's not out for like
Sydney's the same.
Sydney's not, as far as I'm aware. I think it was they had a huge outbreak in Melbourne, so they shut down the borders. I'm not sure how the rest of the country is faring, but New Zealand is killing it.
Killing it.
They haven't had a single case in like 100 days.
Can I just tell you that I was blown away? I told you that. Blown away by New Zealand. New Zealand. Have you been?
Yeah.
It's
Best place I've been.
Yeah.
Me too, without a doubt.
They're Dublin, yeah.
The Dublin was amazing.
Yeah.
But New Zealand, first of all, the people were so cool. And when I was in Wellington, which is the capital, and when you fly, and I was like, what is it so crazy about here? It took me 2 days walking around. There was nobody walking around looking at their phones. Nobody was on their phones.
When
at
were
the
you there?
cafes,
Yeah.
people were just talking to each other. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this is so fucking
I remember I fucked up because
refreshing.
I was doing stand up there and I got out. Remember this, Chin? I got out and I want coffee and I thought I didn't know they had different currency in New Zealand and Australia.
Oh,
and so I just had all this.
They just laughed at you.
I just had all this Australian money. I went to New Zealand to get a coffee and she's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And they like tore into me. I was like, oh, my bad.
And they got such a good sense of humor.
Yeah, I was like, my bad.
Everyone that goes to Australia, I tell them, while you're there, go see New Zealand. It is one of the most beautiful
Oh
places
my
on
god,
The
it was
most beautiful
It was
place.
insane.
It's postcard beautiful.
Yes.
Melbourne, I will tell you though, the one thing I like about it, I'll tell you the one thing I like about it. It had a very New York kind of
Yeah,
energy.
it's very cosmopolitan.
But every time I said, "Where's the best so and so food?" Ultimately, it always ended with, and then go down the alley. And in the alley, I'm like, why are all your best restaurants in a
Everything's
fucking
in the
alley?
alley, man. Everything. It's all,
Because I was in.
yeah. But
You're like,
it's
step
cool.
over the homeless dude. There's I'm like,
Alley.
what? Yeah, in the
Sydney tried to copy it as well, but they're not doing as well.
Australia to me, because I was touring there, so I was in the main cities. It just felt like a cleaner America. Like I didn't feel like it was just
Well, that's
everything
the
was
thing
exactly
about
the
cities,
same.
man. Unless
Yes.
you're going to somewhere like Prague that has all these gothic castles
it's
and
like
all
the
that. Like
same.
every city is the same. That's why you got to get out of the cities. Like
Yeah.
you don't go to Australia to go to Sydney.
Yeah,
you go
no.
and ride the ferry across the harbour and see the bridge and the Opera House. Awesome. Then you go up to Darwin. Then you go see some crocodiles. You go out to Western Australia,
That's what
see
I
some
need to do.
wildlife.
Yeah.
That's the Australia people
Yeah.
want to see.
That's so. When
And I didn't like on the menu they called seafood bugs.
Oh, that's a
Like
specific.
crabs?
That's a specific sort of. It's called the Balmain bug.
Yeah.
It's a specific sort of crustacean.
Yeah.
They're delicious. It's like lobster
the same kind of
consistency. Yeah.
as East Coast lobster.
Oh, I'm not familiar.
Well,
enough.
because the rock lobster, which is called out here, is a little tougher. The main lobster is that red, with it's definitely
Look at
more
that thing.
succulent. Yeah, that's a little tougher.
Yeah.
But wow,
while I
that
don't
looks like
promote
a-
eating my friends out
Yeah,
of the ocean,
Yeah.
it's not like I wasn't doing it my whole life.
You know what? With mango sauce, you know what? When
Yeah.
I remember when I texted you when I was in Australia, and I was like, "What should I do?" And you sent me a whole list of stuff. I'm
Yeah.
like, "I got 3 hours," and you're like, "Yep, you're fucked." Stay in the city."
3 hours.
I
got 3 hours, man.
He got me free tickets for my brother in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if he went. He didn't even say thank you. He didn't tell me if he went. I'm like, I mean, either he didn't go
I
or was
must have
terrible and he
crushed.
hates me.
I must have. Wait, I thought I got your sister tickets.
Maybe in Sydney.
Yeah, because your sister said thank you.
Yeah. My sister is awesome.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
one of the toughest chicks I've ever met. Iraq veteran, Afghanistan veteran.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Army medic, outside the wire on 5-week fighting patrols with the 2 guys.
What does that mean,
saved my
outside the
life.
wire?
So you've got like the compound, the base.
Right.
And generally, all the medics, especially the females, aren't allowed outside that base because women aren't allowed in combat roles. They are now. They're pushing them through into infantry and stuff like that. But then no women were allowed in combat roles. And so she was one of the first women to go outside the wire in a war zone, 5-week fighting patrols. And she was with the 2 guys, my chief and my leading seaman, that saved my life. And they were the bomb disposal guys. And that was 3 months after my attack.
I mean,
so it's
and this is how much of a child I am. When you said leading seaman, I had to try not to laugh. I'm like, oh, come on, okay. Can you use a different word than seaman? I'm a child.
always the first ones to get pregnant. They're leading. I was just able seaman.
You're the able seaman.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be a seaman, I want to be the leading seaman.
leading,
I don't
absolutely.
want to just be an able
No,
seaman.
no, you get lost in the jizz.
You're nonchalant. Nonchalant isn't the right word, but casual, confident attitude, towards sharks, is the real reason that I'm like, I think I can still do this, because it frightens me. But like, you're so casually confident, not a big deal. Yeah, let's just do it. Every time I talk to you, I'm like, yeah, I should just fucking
I have this how do I put it? I have a quiet confidence that is probably not justified as much as I embrace it. Put it that way. I just believe that everything's going to be okay. And so far,
That's
it's been
right.
okay.
Yeah, I think that's the right
I got
attitude.
bitten on the hand once when I was diving with Al Roker, and I was doing some Shark Week publicity for him. And I had chainmail on my sleeve, and so I wanted to get this good shot of feeding a Caribbean reef shark, and I held on a little bit too long, and it grabbed my hand. And so that was the first time I've ever had kind of a flashback. And I was instant panic for a millisecond,
Oh, wow.
and then I just let my hand go, and eventually it let my hand go. And obviously I had chainmail, so it didn't cut my skin or anything, but it was kind of a dawning of realization that I've been pushing the boundaries pretty damn hard the last few years, and all it takes is one bite like that, not wearing chainmail, and my other hand is rendered totally useless. And so now I try and mitigate the risks a little more.
Is there something, I mean, for both of you guys, like, is there something you're like, I know other people do it, but I'm not doing, that's one thing I'm not doing.
I'm not getting bitten by an anaconda.
So you're not doing that. You're not doing
No,
that.
but it's needless.
Yeah, it is.
You know, something that's worthwhile.
I wouldn't do any of that stuff. I'd do the great white dive with him, but as far as anything like risky where I can
You're
get
not an
hurt,
adrenaline junkie.
not at all.
I'm not either.
And then especially now that I bet you're not either, but especially now I have kids, like everything to me is like risking and
Right.
Absolutely.
everything. I'm like looking around at everything.
Yeah, you're risking the future of your family if you die and get injured.
exactly. And every day I post, damn near every day because I bike every
Yeah.
morning. Those rattlesnakes.
Dude, that one, was that today?
That was yesterday.
Yeah.
But I quit posting because I see them so often. And so I used to take my son hiking on that same trail, and I don't take him anymore.
Well, you
There's
got to show
too
me
many
where that is. I
rattlesnakes.
want to take my camera up there.
Yeah,
Look
you
at-
do.
look.
Every day.
Yeah.
It is how long is that? Just so I have
Maybe about
an
4
idea.
foot.
Yeah. I mean, that's a small one.
That
They
is-
get thick.
Dude,
Big.
I saw one. It was the first snake I've ever saw when I started riding my bike. Dude, I thought it was an anaconda.
Wow.
It was fucking.
I wonder if it had
huge.
just eaten.
Nope. Everyone keeps saying that. It's just a monster. His head was like this, dude. Chin, do you have it? It's probably, I don't know,
A
8
old one?
weeks ago. You know what? That
Do you know-
that anaconda was fucking.
When Jacob was 5, he wanted a little ball python. So I was like,
The worst animal to have.
I go, okay. I go, but listen, man, here's the deal. No, you can't take it out of the cage by yourself. And he goes, okay. So the very first night, I come in to tuck him in bed, and he's on this top bunk. And I look in the cage, and I go, where's the snake, buddy? And he goes, I don't know. I go, where's the snake, buddy? And he pulls back his covers, and he's just got the snake sleeping on his chest.
Lord.
And I go, dude,
On his chest?
that is a fucking no-go, dude. He
My
was like,
friend was trying to get rid of a snake once, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not? I'll take it." It's an albino corn snake, like really beautiful, red eyes,
Yeah.
white and yellow skin.
Tell me that's not the biggest rattlesnake you've ever seen.
It's hard to tell without something next to it.
that is a
It's
thick
so
boy.
It
fucking
looks
big.
thick. It looks like a crocodile's midsection.
You coming, but you're right at its head, man. How close are you right now to that?
I mean, pretty close.
Yeah, when it starts making that S shape, that's when
Yeah,
it's
that's what I
coiling
figured.
up, getting
I've watched enough where I was like, yeah, he seems pretty chill.
Yeah, I'm not. For me, my thrills, like, I'm not an adrenaline junkie, but I don't want to say I don't like something until I try it. So like I am not going to get tear gassed again. I'm not going to get tased again. I want to swim the great white, but I can't tell you that I'll ever do it again. You know what I mean? I just
Yeah.
want to. I don't want to
experience it.
I want to experience it. I want to decide for myself because I know I have probably some fears that I don't need to have. I bet you swimming in a cage with great whites is one of those fears. It just seems like something that why the fuck would you want
Like,
to do
I would
that?
never-
until you go and do it.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
and
right.
so we spend 3 days out there constantly. And the last trip we had 18 guests. We had 15 girls, most of them traveling by themselves. And one of the guys, the oldest guy, was the father of one of the girls. And he just came because he didn't want his daughter traveling through Mexico alone.
Fair.
He spent more time in the cage than everyone else together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He didn't even go for the sharks. And he loved it so much he spent more time in the cage.
See, like, would you have you jumped out of a plane?
I have not, but I did.
would never do that.
I did the bungee in Auckland. I jumped off
would
that
never
space
do
needle.
that.
How good's that?
I got to tell you, so this is super embarrassing. So my heights is probably my all-time asshole clencher.
Same.
So, but I was like, I want to conquer this. So, but the guy who was putting me in the elevator on the way up, I had told him I'm really scared. So they decided they were gonna fuck with me. They knew I was a comic, and he put me in the elevator. And I go, okay, you coming in? He goes, nah, just you. I go, what? And he goes, yeah, this elevator is a really slow ride up 700 feet, and the door is shutting. And he just was like, have fun, and the door shut. And so I'm so scared of heights, I pull the blinds and the windows on the plane. Like I don't want to look out the fucking. So when we pull up out of the ground, I see that the elevator is like 80% glass, and it's a slow ride because they want you to have fun on the. That's not fun for me. So I turn around and I Blair Witched myself. I put my face against the wall and I close my eyes, right? And I'm so scared. This is such a bitch, but I'm saying things like, Mom and Dad, if you can hear me, I just want you to know that you guys did a great
And
job.
does it open up and then you're just...
And they're
Dude,
recording everything.
That's what I didn't know. I had no idea that they turn on the videotape when you get... So there's like a 30-second elevator ride of me being the biggest bitch in the...
And then it's just to get to the top.
I have it.
You just get to the top to bungee jump?
Then you get to the top, and then you have to step off. You have to sign a waiver, which didn't make me too happy.
See, I would never do that.
And then, but she had to. I was standing up there for so long. She goes, "Look, you got to go.
Just go, dude."
She goes, "We got to go." And I said, "I don't know if I can jump. You're gonna have to push me." And she goes, "I know." And I was like, "What do you mean you know?" She goes, "We watched your elevator ride up. I knew I was gonna have to push you." She pushed.
And how far is it?
16 seconds. There's a 17-second video of me jazz handing and screaming like a bitch.
You know, there's something about bungee jumping that is far more scary than parachuting.
Why do you?
I don't know if it's because you're closer to the ground and you can kind of see everything that you would smash into.
Yeah.
Or if it's because you're relying on this rubber band to save your life.
That's the one.
But up in the sky, everything's kind of minute. It's really far. You're kind of like, oh, I've got a parachute. I've got a reserve if something goes wrong. And I did a accelerated free fall. And so you do your first jump by yourself. And so you do all the training on the ground, then your instructors come out and they kind of hold these bits of your suit. But then they let you go, you pull your chute, and the most dangerous part of it all is the landing, and you're doing that by yourself. I'm laughing out loud, just trying to steer myself, having never done this before, thinking, I'm going to fucking die. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is ridiculous. They should never have let me do this.
Why'd you do it?
I had to do it for the show. I had to get through the training. And then I nearly died on the freaking practice jump in Palau. It wasn't even into the ocean. So we pull up to Palau. It's me and James, the British Special Forces guy, and we've got a jump master from like the display team from the UK military. And they want to do a 2 jumps together because we've never jumped before. So they hire this tiny little plane. Only 2 of us can fit in the door together. There's 3 of us max in the plane. We get up to like 11,000 feet. The wind is 22 knots. That's almost double what I've ever jumped into before. As a learner, you only jump into 14 knots. So we've got the strongest winds ever. We've got this tiny little plane. The landing zone where we're supposed to land is a strip of grass right next to the international airport's runway. On the other side of the landing zone is a barbed wire fence off a cliff into the jungle. And so we get up there and the jump master goes, all right, the door's too small for the 3 of us, so I'm going to get out onto the wheel and I'm going to hold on to the wing strut, and then you guys get into the door, and when the light's on to go green, we'll all jump out together. I'm like, oh, all right, no worries. We got all our helmets and head cams and all that crap on. He gets out, stands on the wheel, grabs onto the strut. Me and James move into the door, and he just drops. Like the jump master just drops down, and we're like, so we look at each other, grab each other, and fall out. And so because we haven't presented to the wind, it wasn't a controlled exit, we just start going.
What do you mean, like twisting?
Like you're just spinning, and not like in 4 dimensions, like every direction. You can see it on the head cams. And so we realize we're out of control. We let go of each other, and you can see me just go and then disappear. I can't get control. I don't know what I'm doing. All I know to do from my lessons is like the standard Mission Impossible position. And I'm just
somersaulting or spinning both
at the same time. And so,
do you have any clue how
what's
close
up
you are
and
to the
down?
ground?
nothing.
What about what's up and down?
Nothing. You have absolutely no control over everything. All you see is a blur. And so my alarm goes off in my helmet to tell me I'm at 5,000 feet, which is when we're supposed to pull. I'm still spinning. If I pull my parachute, it'll wrap me up like a burrito and I'll jam sandwich into the ground. And so all I know is this. And so I'm just doing it more. Arch your back, arch your back, arch your back. 4,000 feet, still spinning, 3,500 feet, still spinning. Finally, I stop and I see blue. And I'm thinking, what the hell? We jumped over the jungle. Why am I over the ocean? Oh, it's the sky. Punch my left hand, flip over, and the jungle is just coming at me. So I pull my parachute, and we're so low, and because we fell out early, we're so far from the drop zone. I'm watching James tracking dirt roads into the jungle, just in case he lands in the jungle, we can go save him. But the 22
How far away were you from James?
He was probably 500 feet below me. And just not far in front of me. And so from my position, it looks like his feet are skimming the jungle canopy the whole way. But the strength of the wind was in our favor because it was pushing us towards the drop zone. So at the end, he didn't land on the drop zone. He had to lift his legs up over a cargo plane. I got to the very base of the drop zone just in time, turned into the wind, but because the wind was pushing me towards the jungle cliff, I've got one of my risers pulled all the way down, the other one all the way up to try and account for the sideways track. But I'm not going anywhere. I'm just staying in one spot. And all of a sudden I get a gust of wind pushing me backwards into the international airport buildings. And so I'm freaking out, thinking I'm going to die. It finally lets up enough for me to drop down right at the base of the drop zone. Boop, on both my feet.
Jesus.
No, and then the wind picked up my parachute and pulled me across the drop zone.
Oh,
That stressed me out.
dude.
The entire story stressed me
And then I had to do one more and then the jump into the
How
ocean.
fast are you hitting the ground on that?
It depends on the size of your parachute. When we do it with the military, which is the smallest, you'll land at 4.6 to 6.4 meters a second, which is kind of like, they say it's like jumping off a 2-story building. Because those parachutes are designed to get you from the plane to the ground as fast as humanly possible
So you
without
can
you
fuck
getting
up your
killed.
ankles and knee. You can break a
Dude,
leg,
so,
break a...
so many people broke backs, landed in trees, hit cows, like
Cows?
hit cows.
Is it? I heard too for like bigger guys, you can't tandem jump because there's certain weight limit. So
Yeah.
if you're over 225, you got to do it by yourself.
Yeah. So when we jump in the military,
fucked, bruh.
you would think, you've got to carry your ammo. You got to carry your ammo, your guns, all that sort of stuff. What they do is, because they have a weight limit on the parachutes, the smaller guys got to carry all that weight for the bigger guys. So all of a sudden you got this 5'4" dude carrying a heavy machine
Poor
gun,
guy.
2,000 rounds of ammo, plus
Jesus
all of his
Christ.
stuff, and he just drops like a rock.
Oh, yeah, man. I see. It's the ability to think like that and get your
Under pressure like
shit
that.
together. That like
Chaos.
Well,
it's special forces.
I love it.
But
no,
aren't
it
you-
wasn't never Special Forces.
You
It's
watched
under
it?
the Department of the Navy.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
But is it like there's no way to tell? I'm sure in your training or in when you were in the military, there are some people you're like, this dude's gonna respond under pressure, and you never know.
You have
And
no
he was
idea.
like the guy who did it.
Yeah.
Right. You never know until
Until shit hits the fan.
shit hits the fan. Right.
Yeah.
Did you think you would be that person?
I don't think you ever know until it hits you. Like, I never had
shit
to
hits
fire
the
my
fan.
gun in anger. I was never in a gun battle. It wasn't until the shark attack that I really had to pull my shit together.
Right.
And I think that's testament to the training. I was ready to die. I was letting myself go to die because I just figured that was it. But then after the shark ripped out my hamstring, it ripped off my hand and I popped to the surface, I had one job, and that was get back to the boat. So I'm swimming through the water, one hand, one leg, through a pool of my own blood. Did not expect to make it. I was just waiting for this shark to come back and finish me off. But that was all I had to do. One laser-like focus, get to the boat, get to the boat, get to the boat. Guys got me into the boat. All of their medical training came in. One of the guys had to stick his hand inside my leg to pinch close an artery. The guys, like, everything came together.
Show me
and
that,
so,
Jim.
that's the great part about the military. They train you for those intense circumstances.
You told me that one of your buddy. This is him going on. This is
Yeah.
That
So
is. So we have to warn the audience. It's kind of graphic.
Yeah.
this video when I watched this with you, dude, and how calm you were. I was blown away. Does it feel like a different lifetime? Do you know what I mean? Does
It does, yeah. Yeah.
like this is that chapter is so far removed from where I am
11
now.
years now. Yeah, but I have to relive it so much that it kind of becomes like I'm telling someone else's story sometimes. You
I
know?
totally understand that.
And then, this is the surgery where step by step where they removed my leg. So it's not just the shark attack, but the surgery photos, because they had to, the problem was the shark had removed my hamstring. And so if they removed above the wound, they'd cut all the way up below my hip, making me a hip disarticulate amputee, makes walking, getting prosthetics really, really hard. So what they did was they cut off my foot, they sliced open the back of my calf muscle all the way to the bottom of the shark bite, peeled all the flesh off the bone, removed the shin bone, the knee bone, the end of my femur, and then folded the calf muscle into where the hamstring used to be. So it doesn't do anything, but it filled that wound enough that I can put on a socket on that limb.
You know, you've really
Thank God for them.
Yeah,
To be able to-
seriously.
thank God.
Yeah.
Dude.
since we met though, you've gone through like that's so much more advanced.
It's pretty the same, actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
It looks so different, dude.
Yeah.
How mobile is that? Pretty mobile, yeah?
For walking,
Yeah.
yes.
Do you have a different one for running?
I got a blade, yeah. It's good, but it's not like running. Like
Right.
It hurts. The hard rim around the top rubs my skin off around my groin. You don't want skin off around your groin. It sucks. So this, look, I lift it up. I can't do anything with it. It doesn't do anything. Like, to make it work, I have to walk, I have to swing, I have to use the motion and gravity and all that. But it's better than not having
did you
a
ever
leg.
do any-
Hopping sucks, bro.
The hopper?
My leg is so strong. I just posted a video the other day. I was up in Vegas training, and I did a box jump, and I hadn't done it.
I saw that,
about
dude.
a year, and I was thinking, geez,
What was the height for that?
I don't know. I don't know what the height was. I think they're written on the boxes. I haven't actually
I
looked at it.
saw it. He did
but I
a
was
one-legged box jump.
thoroughly impressed with myself.
You should have been, bro. I don't even know
Who was the? And it might be a weird question. Did you ever do any work with that? He was that Australian dude who he won. Obviously murdered his wife or girlfriend, but he was the
He's
Olympic
South
runner.
African.
He's South African.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm
Never?
Oscar Pistorius. No.
He was
was,
a stud, man.
yeah.
He's a
he was the
fucking
blade. They
stud.
called him
Yeah.
the Blade Runner.
He was super stud.
Yeah,
Oscar
he has
Pistorius.
2 below knee amputations,
Yeah,
so it's
that's
very
right.
different to having an above knee. If you've got your knee, you're good to go. All you got to do is replicate a foot. It's when you
Which
have
is
to
easier.
Yeah,
Way easier.
because it's just a spring.
Yeah.
you know?
Is
Is the blade easier as far as pain? Watch this. Look at this, dude.
Oh,
Look, tell me.
Must be 30.
Watch this. One. Get the.
that's the one I failed and fell over.
That's
and there's-
Come on.
This is in Vegas.
yeah.
You think
yeah.
you could do? I don't think I could do 2 legs. That. There's no way.
Yeah, my friend I was training with is actually really fit and sporty, and he wouldn't even give it a go.
Yeah, that is pretty impressive, dude.
That's cool.
First of all, I got no hops. My son, Jacob, is tall. He's got hops. He's half Jewish, half Asian, so I don't know where the hops came from.
half Asian.
Yeah, dude. It's like 2 negatives made a positive. I don't know how it worked. He's 2 short people.
His
like,
mom's Asian.
Asian, bro.
I didn't know that.
So ready for this? He dunked on me in my driveway, and when he dunked on me, dude, his dick was in my face, and he was hanging there for a second, and he goes, "Yeah." I go, "Hey, just so you know, you're never doing that again." He goes, "No, I'll be able to dunk for a long time." I go, "No, I'll throw you down before your dick's in my
Yeah.
face again. Like you'll be able to dunk, but you're not dick facing me ever again." But he's got ups. I wonder how close to a rim you could come, man.
Oh, not even close.
Dude, that's got to be 30 something inches.
Yeah,
it looks
but
like a 30-inch vert, but
it's different. Like I guess I can get my leg up higher as well. Like vertical, I really couldn't
be a
do
little
it.
different
I
'cause
could
you're
like
touching.
just touch the rim when I
Yeah.
had 2 legs.
Well, I could barely.
it's impressive either way.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
You got some current events, Chen?
Yes.
It gets warm in here.
I don't.
It's
The
stuffy, huh?
the AC's messed up right now. So
Is it
that's
messed up? Sorry.
We're trying to work on it. Wait, real quick question, Paul.
Yeah.
Since you're here, I just want to ask you: do you ever get like the phantom sensations that people talk about?
Never goes away.
Oh, really?
right?
Never, not for a second.
Oh,
Every
wow.
single day. In my foot that's not there, in my hand that's not there, I have like this sense of intense pins and needles and cramping. But it's kind of like
That's
white
terrible.
noise. Like it just falls into the background. Tune it out.
You
and-
feel it-
until someone brings it up.
Oh, sorry about that. Now everyone knows not to bring it
Yeah,
up.
until you
Don't bring it
mentioned
up.
it, man. I was doing all right. And now it's even hotter in here.
Sorry about that.
My
also-
absolute favorite thing to do, by the way, is to see you slowly crush somebody's hand with your.
Oh,
It's really because somebody who may be a little bit of an asshole, just a little too mouthy.
yeah.
You can squeeze real
know,
hard
I've
with
heard
that
You get them in
hand.
the right
before.
spot.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's really strong. It's just that there's no relief.
Escape.
There's no, yeah.
No,
like,
there's
so
no
if you get them in the wrong angle, crushing the thing, the hand doesn't let go. It will just keep
just
crushing
keeps
it.
on.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That would be kind of fun to do. To
Yeah.
somebody.
I can't hold a Starbucks cup though.
Without smushing it?
No, I can't hold anything plastic. It'll just crush it. Yeah, it's like I got to put my Starbucks down and get my key out.
Listen, if you jerked off with your right hand, not anymore.
Not anymore.
I mean, that is how you...
Pull the skin off the sausage. No one wants a skinless sausage.
Yeah, man, you had to learn lefty.
Yeah, that was hard. Really, I keep catching myself saying like. We got to stop saying like.
And that's tough.
Yeah. So
But it must have been difficult. I bet you it would be harder for me to brush my teeth lefty than to jerk off lefty.
That's fine.
you'd be amazed at what you can do when you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you got
Like
pretty
tying
good
your
with it.
shoelaces with one hand and your left hand, or using a dustpan and broom.
I'm going to try that right now.
Or,
It's tough.
You know,
You
I've got
tie-
an electric toothbrush, so I don't have to worry about
You
that.
tie
But when
your
I first started,
shoelaces.
yeah.
With one hand.
Nightmare.
Well, kind of. I cheat. I use the crook
Yeah, I'm
of,
done.
I
I
use
cheat.
the crook of my forearm as
Yeah,
well.
you kinda.
Or my robot hand.
I was
Still,
going to say,
though.
there's no way I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Sakes.
But yeah, having to learn to do things not just one-handed, but with my non-master hand.
Yeah.
Beast.
I learnt patience and perseverance.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Any other questions, Chin?
I do have one more, just one last one.
Yeah.
Because we shook hands outside, right? And it was like perfect amount of pressure. How do you control that thing?
well, I gave you the girl shake.
Yeah, he-
I know.
So I didn't open it up
different
super
modes,
wide. I
dude.
just kind of I have to watch.
Yeah.
And I kind of time it. So just squeeze a little bit, then let go. But if I switch it to beer drinking grip, which is that,
Oh, that's
if you-
cool.
yeah.
But how do you operate it though?
That's so
I give it a little flick in the forearm.
I kinda
and the
want
muscle
one.
activates the sensor. So that's my open is here, my close is there.
Holy shit.
If I want to change the grip from beer drinking to normal, I give it a little boop, it beeps, and that goes into neutral. So I shook your hand with that. If I'd shaken it like that,
It would've crushed.
Yeah, it's a little
And
hard.
and how long
Awesome.
have you had that device?
Probably 6 years.
So it hasn't technology gotten better. So I'm
No.
sure it hasn't gotten better.
No.
What are we doing?
So many hundreds of millions of dollars went into the research while the war was very active, and people were coming home in the droves, missing limbs, and so the government poured heaps of money into it. And because now, the war's still going on, there's still people dying, Americans and Australians out there dying, but it's not as prevalent now, and so the money from the government has dried up, and so the research has
defunded
dried
that,
up,
yeah.
and so it went for. They had this huge leap, and it's true through all wars. Technology is advanced massively through every war, and so it's developing incrementally now, as instead of huge leaps and bounds. So this leg is the newest one you can get, but it hasn't got that much more than what I had from the last two. So it's waterproof now, and it has a running mode, but I don't have the bouncy.
Have
running
you
foot.
seen the story? I don't know what made me think this, just because they were talking about they were going to have to amputate his leg. Have you heard the story about Alex Smith,
Yes.
the quarterback for the Redskins? And during the game, he got tackled and he had a compound fracture. And, he was like, all right, I blew my leg out, not a big deal. I'll come back from it. But bacteria got in there. And so 2 days into his hospital stay, his entire leg blew up horribly.
Did you see the picture?
Oh, yeah. Horribly.
That was one of the most infected.
So his wife was like, "We don't want him to die.
Yeah.
I know he loves football, but if it gets worse, amputate the leg." So, and they have the doctor on there, and they're crying. The
Yeah.
wife and the doctor are crying because they're trying to decide: do we amputate his leg? He can never play again. He didn't want to do it. Now through rehab, they redid. He had all these stents in his leg and screws and all this shit. And now this motherfucking guy is gonna be on the roster for the
Yeah.
Redskins. He's
That's
back.
amazing.
It's you watch the. I think they did
It
an
was on
E60 on it.
E60.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
the picture with
With the stents in it.
but the picture with the day difference with how much the infection had grown
Bacteria.
overnight.
His leg blew up like this.
Yeah,
They're
I
saying
was-
if
there was
he goes
pus
higher, we're
coming
gonna have
out
to
of
amputate
his-
his
I
leg.
wonder how they got that bacteria under control. And
it's a fascinating the E60.
Yeah, there's his leg.
oh, dude,
They were saying, and his body wasn't taking the
well, that's
antibodies.
like that thing
either.
that the Asian people use to make them taller.
Yes.
Yeah,
Does that really work?
yeah.
Apparently, it's torturous.
Yeah.
How long ago was this compared to him being on the roster?
This was 2 years ago,
2
right?
years ago.
Yeah.
So they show the pictures of the
Rough.
the bacteria eating away his muscle. It is.
It was the flesh.
They show it on
eating.
ESPN on
Yeah.
E60.
It was
And you know what?
rough.
That is the true power of the human body and the human mind. That humans can overcome stuff like that. We
But the-
really are more powerful
Oh,
than
it's,
what we think.
it's nuts.
I will-
But they show him like going through the therapy, and they're like, "Man, I'm telling you, man,
Yeah.
your chances of playing aren't good." And he just keeps
Yeah.
hitting it every day.
The reason I watch shows like Alone, I don't know if you watch Alone, and you and I had talked about it.
Can't do that show either.
But the reason I watch shows like Alone is because sometimes I need to be reminded that the human body can take as much as the brain, your brain will allow it to.
It's like David Goggins, I think. He says it that once you think you're at your limit, you're still only at 40%.
That show for me, I was like, sometimes I just need to be reminded, like, I can always push more. And that show alone, they drop these people off, dude, in the Arctic, and you get to survive 100 days. No camera people. You have to carry your own camera, 60-pack around, by yourself. This dude killed like a giant oxen with a knife by himself. Damn. He ran by and knifed it, and then it would go, oh, and then he would run by again and knife it. Fucking crazy.
Lord.
He had shot it once in the ass with an arrow, and then did a couple, shanked it. But it just reminds me, these people are by themselves. They're fucking eating grass and digging up root. They're wolves.
It's another thing that, we were talking about earlier that I just don't need to do.
You don't need to do it, yeah.
I have no desire to. I've done survival in the ocean. It sucks.
You did 44 hours.
That's what I was asking. Do they compensate you for that? I can't get over it, dude.
Right.
If I'm your age, I'm like, you want to do what? We'll do it.
We're at the table
Here's
now.
the price, man. There's only one Paul here, and this is the price.
A great transfer.
Find one of your scientists to do it. Let me know how fun that's going to be.
Half the scientists don't even get in the water.
That's what I'm saying. Like, find someone else to do it. Oh, we can't. All right, cool. Here's the pay.
Yeah, Brendan's like, listen,
this whole time, like, fuck, they should have paid him more, man.
I love it though, man. I never think that I'm going to die. So as far as I'm concerned, life is just a series of stories. And I want to feel when I go to my deathbed next time exactly the same way I felt the first time. Like I have no regrets.
I'm with you.
I've done
I just
everything.
want money in your bank. I'm with you, dude.
As your agent.
Yeah, as your agent. Yeah.
I love that.
I'm with you. And you're not going to die.
We'll put all that in your eulogy. It's beautiful.
44 hours?
Yeah.
We need to get paid.
We're actually in contract negotiations now. I'm gonna add that. We might call you in as a...
Call me, man.
Call me. Be my manager's hype man.
I'm like, again.
Yeah, let me give you a list of people who will do this.
Go find someone to do it.
Paul's one of 4.
Yeah, you're going to be my little John in negotiations.
Dude,
right?
let me do it for you, man. Who else is going to do it and then do it well and then be able to articulate it and talk about
He's
it?
also missing 2 limbs.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Come on, man.
Yeah, you want to kill him, you got to pay.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Fuck, man.
David Zaslav's making over $200 million a year.
Who's that?
The guy that runs Discovery Channel.
Yeah.
Wow.
He can pony up more than whatever.
44 hours?
Yeah.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
What's your price tag? 44 hours. I want to know if they go B.
Life's too good for me to do that.
No. Let's say, give me a price tag. They go B. Here's what we're gonna do. 44 hours in the ocean.
Surrounded by sharks.
No
food, no water.
Good with sharks.
We're gonna give. How many
I can
people
swim.
You with? How many people are you with?
Just one other.
One other.
Who
person.
am I with? Am I with Paul?
You can be with your brother.
He sucked with sharks too.
You get one trained
You
guy.
want to pick Paul?
I get Paul.
Okay, you
give me Paul.
Oh, you get Paul. What's it taking for you to be?
We don't know each other that well, so I'm sure we'd start bickering at each other too.
Oh yeah,
hour 20 in.
It'd make a good show.
Like, fuck you, man.
You get really pissed off when sharks start bumping you and your buddy's not
what
watching.
happened to the shark, man?
By the way, and I'm picturing you two big motherfuckers cuddling up on that raft right there, like, dude.
Yeah, you get close.
Yeah.
And my
How much would
wetsuit
you
is
do it
full of
for?
pee.
Well, honestly, I don't think.
No, how about no filming, nothing? You're just doing it for the experience, but they're still going to pay you. You don't get any social media, no TV,
Okay,
nothing.
I'm going to tell you the truth. Not filmed, less money.
What?
Not because that way I can get rid of the bravado and I could just be like, okay, this is me for 44 hours.
Oh, dude, 10 hours in, the bravado's out the window.
But how am I true? Not when the camera's there. So how am I
You
truly
get so
gonna
tired.
Do you?
Yeah,
It
all
won't
goes out
matter.
the window. Yeah,
At nightfall,
Oh, that's the part. See, and I don't want
when
to be
pitch
like,
dark.
yeah,
How
8
much-
hours.
how many straight up bitch sounds am I going to make when a shark hits the boat?
All of them.
Paul, I'm like, Paul, tell me another story.
How
Yeah.
dark was it? Like
Pitch black.
Like dark.
So you
the
go, you
ocean.
put your head underwater, you can't see a single thing, and then you turn your torch on, and there's a shark going past your feet.
Chin, how much would you do it for?
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
Oh, I would.
You know, there's no price. 44 hours?
I would
Bubba.
think I would die, and I don't think it's worth it.
No, Paul's with you. You're
I'm
not
with
going
you.
to die. Paul's going to coach you through it.
You might not die.
Okay, I might not die.
Because you're not going to die of hunger in 44 hours. The only thing you die of is that shark.
Or
Honestly-
you can die of dehydration in that time, depending on the heat.
44 hours?
Yeah.
I thought you had 3 days. Well, the heat
You're
from
in the
sun.
you're in the water.
Salt
For one, the
water.
salt water dehydrates you
Yeah.
quicker, and plus you're moving constantly because you got to stay afloat.
You're going to have pee in my mouth, Paul.
I find it interesting that you wouldn't decide to drink your own
Paul's
pee
like,
first.
no,
You don't
what?
pee.
No, we don't have to.
You can just suck it out of my
only
wetsuit
44
because it's
hours,
already in
dude.
there.
Yeah.
I had a full body pee rash.
No price, Chin.
I
Maybe
thought you were
10.
going to say,
No.
I won't pee in your mouth, but you can suck it out.
Well, I had to shit. I had to take a shot. And the second one, I had to. The first show I didn't shit for 44 hours. My body just went into survival mode.
Yeah.
Second shoot, I had to shit. Middle of the night, I got a little knife and I got to cut a hole out of my ass, bouncing around in the ocean like this. You don't understand how hard it is not to cut anything else off while you're doing that.
No.
Yeah. And then sharks eat shit.
Why didn't you just shit in your suit?
No.
come
Could
on.
no.
And then just-
couldn't.
That's
And then I had to do the
amateur,
rest of
bro.
the show with my
Do
bare
you want to
ass
get
poking
eaten by
out.
a shark?
No, but I'm just saying you shit in the suit.
You're a
and
shit
doesn't-
sandwich.
Doesn't it just come?
No.
Sharks like shit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've
that
seen them
doesn't
eat
bug
shit
me.
a
in the
few
waters,
times.
dude.
No, it's not shit is.
Talk to Paul. You just said. Talk to Paul. Talk to the shark expert. Dude, I don't know. You do it for 10, Chin?
I would say 10 million.
10 million, you said?
10 million.
Because I'm saying that's
Yeah,
why they
no,
wouldn't give it to
definitely
me.
need to pay
Yeah, you did. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I was around the. Yeah.
Nah, dude, 50,000.
Dude, Discovery's watching.
I know.
Double what I get.
Hey,
50,000.
Paul, we got
50,000. I would do it for 50,000. And honestly, I'm saying 50,000 because I'm not trained. So I feel like there's more risk and I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm putting a little extra on there, but I'm doing 50,000 because honestly, I'm doing it for the experience.
I think they might pay that actually.
I'm Discovery's
I think Shaq
watching
got
this.
Shaq.
Yeah.
No, Mike Tyson for the 5 days. I think he got something like $500,000.
Yeah.
So you get paid in direct,
Yes.
to level of your stardom.
So definitely take a zero off that for me.
Discovery's watching. Do you think 50? I bet you we could push a few more hours on it, dude.
Well, you're going to get a lot of screams, some jazz hands, and some bitch noises out of me. So
Well,
there's
they're way more
that.
entertaining than me doing it.
Like,
You should definitely Discovery definitely get you. I'm terrible. I shut down when
But
I
not
get
me.
tired. I get cranky.
you
I
knuckle
shut down.
Me too.
Not me.
Fuck the cameras. I don't
Yeah,
care.
fuck the
this
entertain-
guy. I don't
yeah.
want to talk to him. I just want to get through this and not die. And
Well, like I was a big Naked and Afraid fan, super fan. Like I'd watch it, I'd talk about it on the show, and then they reached out, like, dude, what do you think of Naked and Afraid? I'm like, oh man, that'd be fun. Me and Brian could do it. I'm like, what's it pay? Like, nothing. It's for the experience.
Yeah.
I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No way.
I got asked as well.
No way.
I got asked to do Dancing with the Stars. Nope.
I'm not interested in that.
Does Dancing with the Stars pay though?
Yes.
Mike Catherwood
You get
did it.
weekly.
I heard the fame off that's nuts.
Are you not curious
Not in
at all?
Australia.
Oh, it's Dance with Stars.
Yeah. So
Australia.
Bindi Irwin, Steve Irwin's
Yeah.
daughter, did it in America. Nailed it. Won. Became like world sweetheart for
Yeah.
it. I was just going to do Australia.
Would you
it just
be
wasn't
more?
worth it?
I know you wouldn't because no
What's that?
money. But would you be more interested in doing something like Alone or Naked and Afraid without the cameras or with the cameras?
I like the fact that everything I do on an adventure has a little film crew, and I get a little
documented?
Awesome, it's a professionally made home movie that you can relive and go look.
Do you have
this is-
kids?
No, I got a dog.
Do you want kids?
Eventually, yeah.
How old are you?
I'm getting old. I'm getting on there. It's about time. Like 42. No, 43.
And your girl's how old?
28.
You got some time.
Yeah, yeah. But she's
It would be cool for your kids to watch this stuff. And then I
Yeah.
wonder if you have kids, if you tone down the danger.
Why is your
I wonder
girlfriend?
if I tone down the danger if I have kids.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know I do. Like, there's certain things I just
Absolutely.
I drive safer
Why is your girlfriend only a year older than my oldest son?
because he's awesome.
I don't know.
Because you got
I think older women are too smart to date someone like me.
You were like 28. I'm like, why does that sound familiar? Oh, that's my oldest son's age. Right. That's why.
Because I'm a child at heart.
yeah.
That is why we get along.
Is
dude.
she into outdoor activity and swim,
Yeah,
shark and
yeah,
shit?
yeah. Well, we've only been dating since the start of COVID, and so
Oh, it's new. COVID-
it's
COVID
new.
love.
Yeah, so we've spent a lot of time together and
Intense
yeah.
right away.
But
How
I
do
think
you-
if you can get through that,
How do you do that? Like, because that means young relationships. So if you just moved in with somebody during COVID, you may not have pooped in front of somebody
Oh, yeah,
before the.
It
And
puts
now
it in hyperdrive.
Did
So
that
he,
happen?
like to
we
his
didn't
point,
move in together.
Oh.
We only just started dating.
Got it.
And so we spent a lot of time in close proximity hanging out because we
With
had
mask
I
on?
think we had a sorry.
with mask on.
No. So we had a month.
No, he went
together
straight
where
there.
We had like one proper date when we went out and did that 3D adventure together, and then everything shut down. And so basically just hanging out at my apartment, walking the dog, whatever we could do. We went up to Mount something. It was like an hour and 10
Mount
minutes
Baldy?
away. No, hour and 10 minutes away, and there was still snow there. And so went out there and flew the drone, had a little picnic, and we did a lot of picnics. I actually had to wrestle with a dude with a gun not long ago.
What?
Yeah. So we were having
for Discovery again, dude.
No, this was just
He's like, and they didn't pay me.
there was me and my girl were having a picnic down at the lagoon at Playa del Rey.
Yeah.
And so we were just in there. We'd had 2 bottles of Moe. It was kind of like a special date day. Smashed 2 bottles of Moe, and all of a sudden, the homeless guys from the toilet block came running over. There was like 4 of them. They're like, get behind the rock. There's a guy with the gun. And so I put everyone behind the rock, and obviously I head towards the road where the guy with the gun is for some strange reason. There's a couple.
Did you have a gun?
I had nothing. No, nothing. And so there's a guy on the phone calling the police, and there's a couple talking about it, and they're pointing down the road. It's like, what's going on? So there's this guy down the end of the street in a white Prius. He was waving a gun around. He's got out of the car, and I'm watching him, and then he gets back in the car. And so I asked them, where does this road go? Because it's one way. And they say it goes up around the block and comes out the other side, on the other side of these buildings. So I say, how can we get up there? And they say, yeah, you just cut through these buildings here. So I'm like, you on the phone, you come with me. You guys, you stay here. Cut through the building. There's people on the streets having balcony parties. And so I yell at them and I say, hey guys, there's a dude with a gun coming down the street. Everyone should go inside. So they all stay on their balconies. And
Yeah, I was gonna say, everyone listen?
no,
Not in
no
LA.
one. No one. And so
I get there like, dude, this guy with one arm's about to get shot. Get out of here.
and so
That's exactly
Quick, get your phones out,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
That's the guy from Discovery Channel.
we're gonna see a shooting.
Isn't he a shot, man?
This is great.
So the guy on the phone, I say, stay behind the cars. And the dude in the car has come up around the corner, his white Prius. He's just sitting at the end of the street doing nothing. So I'm watching him through the window, waiting to see if he moves, and he starts coming down the street. So I time it so I'm not in front of the car, but I'm in an awkward enough position that he has to stop if he doesn't want to hit me. And he stops, and I start going overtly friendly, yelling like I'm at a party, I'm a little drunk, like, hey, what's going on, man? And I walk around the back of the car, checking the windows to make sure no one else is in there, there's no other guns, and I come up on his window, and I just befriend, what's going on, what are you doing? I glance down, and he's sitting in his seat with his hand on a pistol like that. And so I ask him a question, he starts to answer, I jab down for the gun, and I grab his hand and his gun in the same grip. And he panics, he yells, he hits the accelerator, and my arm gets hit by the edge of the window and pulls it off the gun, and he just bolts. And that's the end of the story.
Let me ask you, why is that your
Like
instinct?
an Australian Captain America.
I know. Like,
I'm like, he's down there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna head this way.
here's what's funny. By the way, when you're walking down the street, when I first met you, you had the 3-piece suit and you looked like a Bond villain because he had the perfect.
Fuck yeah.
When he's walking down the street looking like Captain America, people are like, "Day saved."
I love that he's like, you get inside, you over here, and everyone's like, the fuck is he doing?
Eli Roth's a good friend of mine. He keeps telling me he's going to put me in his movies as a bad guy, so I'm just waiting for the
love
day.
it.
I think it's
Give me a
red.
flamethrower
So
arm
did
or
you-
something.
so did-
Yes.
Yeah, some
So
sort
they
of
called the-
Wolverine blade.
Did you call the cops and then they picked up the gun?
The guy on the phone called the cops, and they pulled. I went back down and
What was that
continued
guy
the picnic
doing?
with my
man?
girlfriend.
What the fuck was he doing? Just
But what's
Don't
your
know.
game plan? Like, what you're hoping just to take the gun and then what?
Yeah, and just if I can detain him,
Yeah.
wait for the police, then do that. If not, at least drive him away. Because this is a family neighborhood. It's quiet.
That's
there's,
great down there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And so you can't just go driving around a neighborhood flashing a
yeah.
gun. That's bullshit.
not on your watch.
Not after I've had 2 bottles of Moe.
What'd you say? Yeah. God, I wish you lived in my neighborhood.
If there was any problems, I'm calling Paul.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call Paul. He'll come over and
Yeah,
fix it.
my friends think I'm stupid.
Yeah.
So I just went back down and continued the
And was
the
that?
picnic.
And that was when your first dates with your girl. She's probably like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck?"
Was she like, did Paul just leave me with these 4 homeless guys?
He just
She-
ran
Here,
and left
hey
me.
fellas, watch her.
Watch her. Yeah. You eat as much of the food you need to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad to know
What a
that
story.
2 bottles in, you're like, let's go fuck this guy with a gun up.
Yeah,
that's
probably more so than if I didn't have it.
Yeah,
I was booed. It was like months into Corona. I was so bored. I needed some
you
excitement.
need some action.
Yeah.
How terrible would have been if you went to go and just like shot you in your arm,
I thought it would be
and your girl's like, "What the fuck are
Yeah.
you doing, dude?"
I really didn't think about
No.
that at all.
Pretty gangster, dude. Too bad you're not a cop.
Yeah.
They could use people like you.
It's pretty amazing, man. That is the exact opposite of what my instinct
You
was.
need cops like that.
Yes.
We need more cops like that.
but what-
which
what-
I think the majority of them are.
What
I
would
think
your
there's
instinct?
there's a lot of good cops.
There are a lot.
of good
I would say
99.9% of cops are good.
Yeah.
There's this hit out on them. It doesn't make sense.
It's you
Don't
know what
get
it
me
is.
started.
It's look, man. The unfortunate truth about
But you need cops trained like him.
yes,
Yeah,
You do well
that's-
under high pressure
that's- I think
situations.
who was talking about that? Was it Jocko or someone was talking about how poorly trained the police
We
are?
talked about this last time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And so they
Oh,
get
you talking to Rogan? Is that what you're listening to?
something like that.
He's talking about because he's talking about defunding. He's like,
Yeah.
no, you need it.
No, you need
they only
more
train for
money.
like 20 hours.
Dude, to become an infantry soldier, we've got, you go through boot camp for 10 weeks, then you go through infantry training for 8 weeks, or no, like 12
Oh.
weeks, and then you continuously train all the time. And so the cops are getting, what, a couple of a month or something training?
20
and then
hours, then they put in this high pressure situation. Like,
Yeah.
God, he freaked out. It's like, yeah, he didn't know what the fuck
Every
he's
single
doing.
Right.
day
To get
dealing
your-
with the worst of humanity. What do you think's going to happen?
To
They need
get
to
your-
they need to be given time off.
Yes.
They need better rotations.
Yeah.
They need better training. They need not to be sent out to all these crappy, stupid
Like
domestic
yeah, I
fights,
agree.
and keep them
Agree.
in reserve and give them time for training so they
Yeah.
can respond to the things where they're actually required.
But most cops I know would do the exact same. Like, most cops I know are badasses.
Well, they're
man.
walking towards the problem, not away from it.
They're such studs.
Yeah.
So when I see everyone hating on cops, I'm like, you don't
Think about
know.
this. The police, what is it? 6 months with to get your driver's license. You have to have a permit for 6 months, which means they're making you train to drive a car 6
Yeah.
months. I don't know if you have to be in the academy for 6 months to become an officer.
I don't know what it's like.
But
You go
it's,
through
it's,
training
it's
and then-
kind of crazy. Like we're just not giving them the tools.
No.
They have the toughest, especially now, the toughest
Tough
job.
job.
And then also, if you're 18 and you're looking for a job and you look at social media and you look at news right now, do you really want to be a cop? You
Yeah.
I saw one lady cop driving by the other day. I felt bad. I'm like, fuck, man, that must suck.
Yeah.
These people just boneheads.
But some of the standards as well. I can't remember if it's as bad here, but it's pretty poor in Australia as a whole. That there's a lot of police. You look at them and go, "You're not doing anything. You couldn't chase me half
Yeah.
a block."
Yeah.
They're out of
one
shape.
leg."
And you're just
Yeah.
like, dude, good luck with that, Bubba. Yeah.
It takes away from these people that really, really dedicate
Agreed.
themselves.
Dude,
to it.
I know some badass
Yeah,
cops. Where I'm
yeah.
like, dude, if he gets called to your thing, you're fucked. man.
Yeah,
You got
some
a
of the
problem?
ex-military guys as well. Probably some of the best ones because they're so highly trained with the high stress situations over and over again, trauma training, all that sort of stuff. And so these guys need to be the leaders, setting the example, and maybe taking aside the guys on your squad and giving them that extra bit of training.
Agree.
The idea of de-escalation needs to just be reinforced, because all it takes to turn a semi-confrontational situation into a real confrontational situation is two dudes who aren't gonna back down. Nobody
Yeah.
who's willing to de-escalate.
Yeah,
because
that
then
goes
it-
into psychological
Yeah,
training.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah,
you
yeah.
go- Then they got to fund all that sort of training for everyone, and that's weeks and months. And
But
you
you
have
know what they're doing now? Defunding all that.
yeah,
so then
that's
it's like,
ridiculous. Yeah,
dude.
but
Right.
What do you got, Jen?
All right, first
Great
event.
fucking story, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Not that way.
Okay, so a
This is my
fisherman
favorite.
from Florida recently got bitten by a lemon shark. And this is making news because a couple years ago, he was also reported to have had been attacked by an alligator while he was alligator hunting.
Paul, lemon shark, not bad, right?
yeah, it'll still mess you up.
Really, but
Yeah.
like also not bad though. right?
Unless there's food in the water, I'm guessing he had some food with him. He was fishing or something, but they're generally pretty calm. They're very docile unless there's food in the water. And they're the sharks I had to push away when they threw the fish blood into the water. And so they can get.
Now is that a
highly-
lemon there? No,
It looks like it. I can't
is
really
it?
tell.
I'm thinking. Oh, I'm thinking of a leopard shark.
No, that's a what they call either a sand tiger or a ragged tooth shark. We call it nurse shark in Australia.
they're very docile.
Very, very.
Yeah, because I've been in the water with them and pushed them away, and I wasn't, and I'm
Can't tell the picture.
Really?
Oh look, I put
scared.
I
Kinda
put the
blurry.
fish in the hole right before I surfaced. Wham. Yeah, so he had fish in the water.
Yeah, yeah. See, that's the thing. You're making yourself part of the food chain at that point. You've got the food they want attached to your body. You can't get upset when you get bitten.
no.
I mean, I feel like he survived an alligator attack.
Yes.
That's way worse, right?
Yeah, how big was the alligator?
Another good point.
But the alligator will death roll you, right? Or is that the
Yeah.
croc?
I think both of them do it.
Did you see that alligator they saw in Queensland? That monster alligator
I
in
spent
the
a month
ocean?
catching crocodiles
This
up
dude,
in
yeah.
Darwin for Discovery Channel. those things are way more terrifying than sharks. These things are freaking dinosaurs.
Agree.
Like 18, 20 foot long.
Chin, bring up that
They'll
one.
hunt you.
Aren't they perfect? Like they haven't really changed that much.
200 million years.
Well,
Because
did you
they're
see the
perfect hunters.
other thing they just discovered last week? Scientists discovered the back in the day there were alligators the size of buses, and they said their teeth were the size of bananas, and they would attack T-Rex. It's nuts.
I mean,
But where's that one in Queensland?
and scientists
the
are
video?
trying to bring these creatures back.
I know,
like Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But please do not do that. But you think the alligator and crocodile, as far as hunters, you think they're, because the shark seems to me to be the
saltwater's
perfect
nasty.
hunter.
In that environment. So they're perfectly evolved for this specific
Yeah,
environment.
show Paul that one.
The one on
That-
top?
He's a monster. Yeah. This is like 2 days ago. Look how big this fucking salty is.
It's hard to tell when you've got no context.
I know that's the only problem.
It looks pretty big. There's a guy on social media called Matt Wright, an Australian guy, and he has crocodiles in Australian saltwater crocodiles in his, like, I don't know what it is, a sanctuary or whatever, but he feeds them and he'll slap the water and these enormous crocodiles come charging
Let me
out
see
of the
him,
water.
Chin.
What would you call what's a big size for a croc?
For a saltwater croc,
Is that it?
I wouldn't want to mess with anything at all for starters, but a big, really big is probably 16 to 20 foot.
Good God.
And so we were catching them up in Darwin, like 18 hours south of Darwin in legit dinosaur country. And we'd jump out of the boats in the middle of the night into like waist deep water and go ashore. And you shine your light around to try and catch eye glint, but if they're under the surface, you can't do it. So you jump out and you get to shore as quick as possible. Then we catch these crocs, strap cameras to them to get croc cam. It was pretty interesting, but also kind of terrifying.
What was that for a show for Discovery?
Yeah, that was Sharks vs. Crocs.
So when you jump in the water like that, there's no guarantee that there isn't a croc right when you jump
No
in.
guarantee whatsoever.
And are they
Jesus.
going to
Christ.
attack if they're not hungry? Holy
Crocs will,
So
yeah.
fast.
Crocs are going to attack even if they're not hungry.
Absolutely.
They're aggressive. What about
Absolutely.
alligator?
I'm not real familiar with alligators. I think they would, because they're just predators. That's just what they do.
They're dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Look at that
They're way
thing,
more
dude.
terrifying than sharks.
Oh, dude. So scary.
Yeah, this guy's wild. He's got, I think he's got his own show, or he did, but very interesting to
He's
want
your
to
boy?
do this.
He's your friend?
No, I've never met him.
He's just
but
a crocodile.
yeah.
Fuck.
And these things are deceptively fast on land.
They can, but only over very
Bursts.
short distances because they're so heavy.
Did you hear about the like 2 or 4 year old that died at Disney World?
Oh yeah, he got sucked into the pond by a gator or something.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because there's like, around Disney World, there's like, they have like their coves or whatever.
Yeah.
And people thought, because Disney World, that they're safe to go into those lakes or whatever. And this 4-year-old went into the lake, and then a crocodile was like, oh shit, look at this.
Yeah, I
How-
think
when was
was that
that?
the one where the father went in after it? That's really heartbreaking.
The boy's very cute too. So
When
it's,
was that?
It was like 2 years ago.
Oh
Just
my
saying.
God, dude.
It's hard to watch when you see
I don't
his
think I see
face.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me that current
pass.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Anyway, let's get back to make me
Disney
laugh,
World,
funny man.
huh?
Yeah, I'm
Disney World,
I'm
huh?
gonna pass on the 2-year-old getting eaten by an awful,
Oh, not bitten.
dude. Yeah.
Eaten.
So what have you guys been doing since everything's been shut down? Do you do virtual comedy shows?
I
Is
did
that a
one.
thing yet?
I did one. I went on the road.
Oh, how
a
was
little bit.
Cleveland?
Cleveland was outstanding, dude.
Shows were good.
Shows were
I heard
amazing.
they're shutting down now.
Really?
Did you create
what
an
my agent
outbreak?
said.
Listen. It wasn't me. But I will tell you, man, they have an HVAC system that doesn't do recycled air. So he pumps it in from the outside and pumps it straight out. Everybody was wearing masks, gloves, servers, the plastic partitions. Nick is amazing.
The best.
He did a great job. I got to tell you, the reason I like going to Cleveland is because every time I go, something weird happens. 2 times ago when we went, Jacob, my son, saw somebody get shot in the alley.
Oh.
It was hilarious. Okay,
Oh.
I know it sounds...
Yeah, it doesn't sound
Since-
good.
okay, we're walking back from the show, and that hotel's right near the.
Yes. The old, that haunted. It's
Yeah,
haunted.
haunted.
Yeah.
But and my son and I have we have a great relationship. But the one thing we don't do is smoke weed together. I just won't do it. And he's old enough
That
to
makes
smoke weed,
sense,
so
though.
he can do it if he wants to.
But still.
But I'm not going to do it with him.
Yeah.
Right. So he knows I smoke weed because he's alive and hears
And he
me
steals
speak.
your stash.
Yeah. And I know he smokes
Yeah.
weed. We're walking back from the show, and we're in the alley. And the night before, we had ordered a quesadilla from the hotel, but it had come with Caesar salad dressing and I'm like, that is whacked. You don't put Caesar salad dressing with a fucking quesadilla.
Unless you're high.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I even tried it.
Then you add chocolate.
And but I told him, I don't want that whack quesadilla. I said, come back down and get some food from this place. That bowling alley serves food right across, right? He goes, okay. So I'm up in the room, and my room looked right over where the place was. And I hear these 5, bow, 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 bow. And I was like, oh, no. And I walk over to the window, and I'm like, that was right where Jacob is. And I pull back the blinds, and there was a body in the alley. And I call Jacob, and I'm like, dude. And he goes, hey, I just saw somebody get shot. I go, I know, man. I go, get up here. And he goes, well, I'm waiting for the food, right? And I go, no, dude.
Fuck the food,
I go,
dude.
fuck the food.
Come get the quesadilla with Caesar.
I go, we'll get some more food. And he's another long pause, and he goes, well, they're not going to come back and
it's
shoot her
over.
again, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
you're safe now.
I'm
Yeah.
safe, right?
Yeah.
They're not shooting her twice.
I love his mindset. I love it.
And I told him, I go, you're right. Wait for the food.
Yeah, wait for the food.
Because they said they let him take everybody's food. So he
What
came
was
up.
it? Was it gang related or what was going on?
The guy who they were trying to shoot died at the other end of the alley. He ran away, adrenaline. The woman who got shot in the leg, by the way, who was there, was a woman who an hour earlier had stopped and talked to Jacob and I and asked us for directions. So I'm sitting high in my room.
She's just a tourist.
And I'm freaking out that Jacob was almost shot and he was right there. And I'm already freaking out with that guilt. And Jacob turns to me, he goes, Dad, you ever think about, like, if that woman hadn't stopped to talk to us, she'd have never gotten shot? I'm like, man, why are you fucking with me? Like,
Yeah.
And I was,
Dad's high.
Yeah, Dad's high. I gotta tell you, I was so freaked out that night. And he was a grown up. He was I told him, I go, hey man, we're not gonna sleep like this, but you just gotta come lay next to me. For a couple
100%.
minutes.
He's on another level of high walk than you are.
Yeah.
You look at discarded couches.
Yeah.
People are getting shot in front of him.
But last time I was in Cleveland, the weird thing that happened is this dude was finger banging his girlfriend in the front row. Full on.
That's aggressive.
But here's the thing, too. It wasn't like a secret under the table diddle. The best way I can explain it, and this is he looked like a DJ scratching a record. He was this far away, and he was making eye contact with me, and I was like, that's some prison shit. Like, this dude's
Jesus
aggressive.
Christ.
How
Did you
was
call
his
him out
show?
during the show?
Here's the thing. So the server asked me, why didn't you tell us? I'm like, well, honestly, I didn't want to kick him out because it gave me something different to look at.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
so
it's
used to
funny.
seeing all you
Yeah,
fuckers.
yeah.
I ended up kicking him out because he ended up talking at his table, and I told him when he was leaving, I go, dude, I got no problem with you finger banging your girlfriend, but if you talk, you're disrespectful.
That's when we got to get you out.
Yeah. That's when I draw the line. But Cleveland, man.
Cleveland,
come
I
on,
love
dude.
it there.
What an adventure city. I'm going.
Dude, and
Have you never been to Cleveland?
No,
It's
I've
great.
never. I think
Great
I
city.
ended up meeting one of the baseball players, Cleveland Brown.
Indians.
Is that the football?
Football
Cleveland?
is the Browns.
No, I think it was somewhere else. But I think I was supposed to go there for a speaking job this year, and it just got canned.
Yeah, Cleveland's great.
that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is great. The Slymans, that
Slimans.
I heard,
Did you eat there?
not this time, but that's Slyman's corned beef.
The best.
In,
Do they have a
I'm
breakfast
going to go
sandwich?
pee again.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Doug.
Yeah.
Chris is his
Anything
friend who's
he
the
does.
Marine.
Oh, word.
You're the big dude.
He told me, he was like, I want to try stand up. I'm like, listen, man.
He did.
I said, just so you know, the first thing that better comes out of your mouth better be about how fucking massive
You got to
are.
dress it right away.
You better be talking about
everyone's
how
thinking about it.
insanely
Yeah.
large you are, because everybody else is going to be like,
Yeah.
if we don't laugh, he's
I know.
going to murder.
I know.
Is the bouncer introducing me?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
I'm telling you, the first guy where I'm like, why is his wrist more muscular than my
That's
thigh?
so funny.
But
Like,
dude, you haven't met our other friend Boomer. So me and Chris and Boomer are like three best mates out here. And Chris is from Louisiana, lives in Georgia. Boomer, Bill Craig, ex-Navy, Special Forces medic. He's bigger than Chris.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, big beardy, lives in Birmingham, Alabama. Shout out to Chris and Boomer.
let me give you that.
Oh yeah, shout out to Chris and Boomer. We
That-
both talk
What
like
a
that.
great name.
Yeah, dude. I mean, when he still comes out every now and then, does he? Still
Yeah,
come out
yeah.
here?
He was in San Diego
You would
next week, I think.
Fucking love this dude. And he's got
get some whiskey.
great stories.
Oh, great stories, dude. He had his first. He's like you. He had his first kid at 15. And we're talking about Louisiana.
Yeah.
And he basically quit school, went to work, couldn't make enough money, so he joined the Navy to supply for his kid, and that he raised 5 children, and only one of them is his biological son.
What a good
That's how
dude.
good a man
wow.
this guy
He's
is.
also just like a nice. When you see him, you're like, no, but one of the nicest
guy.
dudes.
Wow. Yeah.
I think when you're that big,
You'd be pretty
Why
friendly.
not? Yeah. You know what I mean?
You should be.
Yeah, when you're-
Absolutely. He's good at that de-escalation sort of thing.
Yeah,
as well.
he is
really good at that.
He's dealt with his whole life. You know?
Yeah.
But also, like, when he walks up, you know what you don't want to do? Escalate.
No,
Nope.
hell no.
You're like, that
He would grab you with one of those huge ham hocks and
Dude,
just lift you off the
his
ground.
hand
Yeah.
is like, I remember the first time I shook his hand, I'm like, he could punch a hole in my chest and shit in
Yeah,
it. Like,
I love going out with those guys.
Yeah.
Man. You never have to worry about anything. Everyone's so friendly. We got the Gigantor and the robot guy. Like,
Yeah.
we don't have any problems.
Did you have any others, Chin?
You want any? Are you good?
Uh,
We're at 2 hours right now,
are
I think.
we?
Yeah.
We always go long, huh?
sorry, buddy.
Don't say sorry. He's great, man.
Amazing.
Paul, I can't believe you came with no coffee, dude. Everybody knows I'm a coffee. I would have a coffee IV if I could.
I've spilt it
You have
all over
Stryker
myself.
coffee?
I know. I wish I knew that you were a coffee fiend. I got my own coffee company in Australia, veteran
do?
owned. Yeah. It's called Stryker Coffee Company.
How am I? What?
Are you really a veteran if you don't have a coffee company?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Really?
Shout to Black Rifle Coffee.
Black Rifle, Ironside, all
that's
all
right.
those guys.
That's right. and it's all really good coffee.
Yeah,
That's what's crazy.
Ours is amazing.
Yeah.
We get it. It's family-owned technique. An old Italian guy built the coffee roaster by hand, and it's done with this technique passed down through generations from Italy
Christ.
to it. And that, like, it's all made in Australia. And I was trying to get it out here. He's like, we can't because the family does this specifically, and they know all the roasts that work with it. So we do small batch. Funnily enough, one of our biggest customers is Canada. So we're shipping everywhere, but it's just kind of small time at the moment. My buddy Ian's running it. You would love him, man. He's a
How long have you been doing it?
ex-gangster from England.
Oh, yeah.
Big, scary Thai boxer, like as big
yeah.
as Chris, tattoos all over him. But once again, one of the nicest dudes.
Thai boxer, is that the same as Muay Thai? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
And what, the name Stryker Coffee is that
Stryker
from
Coffee
him?
Company.
Because he was,
I don't know how they came up with it. I was kind of like on the skirts of it.
Yeah.
I just support but these guys put so much work into looking for the perfect roast, the
love
perfect
it.
beans, all
Details,
of that.
man.
And so we got 4 blends now. It's Danger Close, which is the shirt that I'm wearing, which is I think a medium roast. But the one that everyone seems to love is Door Kicker, because it's this super strong blend, and it's like kind of a pre-workout. So if you don't want to take the chemicals of pre-workouts and all that stuff, it's like a double, triple dose of caffeine.
That's what I need.
We had this guy called Commando Steve, who used to be one of the main guys for the Biggest Loser. He's like the hardcore ex-commando dude that used to train him. So we gave some to him and his friend before a workout. And they got about 10 minutes in and looked at each other and then looked at Ian and were like, what the fuck is in this shit?
Really?
Yeah, they loved it.
taste, max dose
You-
of caffeine. Check.
Yeah.
You just met one of my friends from The Biggest Loser.
Yeah.
Do you know Jen Wiederstrom? She
Bring
was
her up,
one of the
Jen.
trainers on there. But it's so funny. I'd been telling each of you individually about each other, and then you sent me a picture.
I was hanging out with another legendary human being by the name of Rudy Reyes.
yeah.
This guy is such an incredible dude. He was in Generation Kill, and they were basing. You remember that show, the series about the infantry soldiers in Iraq?
I never saw it.
Really great show.
What was it? Like a real, like a.
It was a fictional story, but it was as close to real as they could get it. And they had a lot of veterans in it. And Rudy, they had a character based on him, but towards the end, they're just like, no one can play Rudy like Rudy. So he ended up being in it. And he's just this ball of energy and passion, and everything is about love and striving for greatness. He's like no other person I've ever met. Incredible guy.
That's amazing. She is a badass dude.
Yeah, she's jacked too.
She
was like a hammer thrower.
Yeah, she is, and she was on
Olympic powerlifter or something?
what was it called? American Gladiator. She was one of the
Okay.
gladiators
Jesus.
early on.
Such a sweetheart. Too.
Yeah, but just a complete badass in the gym.
Yeah.
complete.
Looks like it. Well, Paul, we love you, man.
Dude,
He's coming back.
so
Stryker
good
Coffee.
to see you guys again.
Shark Week, Discovery Channel. They got to pay you more.
Yeah, I'll work towards it. Call you next week, Little John.
Yeah, I'm up for
Little Brendan.
Discovery. I'm up for 50G if you want to throw me in the middle.
72 hours.
Yeah, we're up to 72.
Yeah, dude. You're
man.
at 50?
You're gonna
My
have to
boy
find
didn't
someone
get
else.
50.
Yeah,
You're
you're
going
gonna
to
have to
do
find someone else.
72 with great whites.
I'm on board. Hit me up. But
We'll find something better than that. It's already been done. We'll push
We
the
gotta do
boundaries
something, yeah.
elsewhere.
you got to come with me me though, man.
Yeah, I'll do it. You know I'm up for an adventure
Okay.
all
Then
the time.
October is when you're going to Mexico.
That I'm
October,
in.
yeah.
God, that sounds fun.
It's 5-day trip because it's a day to get out there, a day to get back. 3 days on the boat, hot tubs, free booze,
Do
free.
you think it's a good idea to go underwater high or a bad idea?
Legit
Depends
question.
on the person. For me, I don't smoke. Terrible idea.
Yeah.
For you, perfectly
Yeah, I
fine.
think
I feel like you thrive while you're high.
I do.
I don't.
I feel so much better when I'm high.
Do you stand up high?
Yeah.
I don't. Rogan does too. I can't.
Yeah. No.
See, I'd get drunk on stage.
No.
Dude, I couldn't do it.
I slur my words. I'm not
The
sharp.
only time I've been high in probably the last 2 decades was with Rhonda Rousey and her husband Travis when we were doing the shoot.
She
And we're in,
smokes.
absolutely.
Yes.
And so they took some to Fiji, and we're sitting on the back of this multi-million-dollar yacht, and they're hitting it, and it came around to me. I'm like, well, I don't really smoke, but I'll give it a go. And I
Pure pressure.
hit it like a little bitch, and not even any smoke came out. And I'm like,
Still, though.
fuck this. I'm gonna hit it next time. And so it came around. And I'm like, till my lungs were like full, and then I blew it out and went back around. I spent the next 30 minutes proofreading everything I was going to say to the point by the time I was ready to say it, the conversation had moved on.
Yeah.
And I'm just spouting out random bullshit.
I love it.
I ended up in bed in
I don't
30
want
minutes.
you high, man. If we're-
7:30 I was in bed. I can't be around
saying,
people.
yeah, that's.
don't get high.
Nope.
I love being high. I almost feel more comfortable high.
We were going to
Some people
try
are-
mushrooms together.
Listen. You know,
Dude,
I'm on board.
mushroom sharks.
I take mushrooms every Monday night. You know, I'm on board.
I don't think that's a good idea because you get a different sort of landscape that you see, and if you need to put your hand on a
Yeah,
shark
I'm
in a
not taking
specific
mushrooms.
spot,
Yeah.
but you can't really
I'm just
see.
spitballing ideas here.
No,
and
I wouldn't recommend any drugs whatsoever, legal or illegal, dealing with wild animals. Do not do it. It's a bad idea.
But let's revisit the mushroom idea. I'm in town.
All right, I
I'm-
don't really know much about it, but
You guys
I
do it
do.
and let me know how it goes.
are mushrooms legal?
Yeah. No.
At my house, they are. Is that count?
Are they?
Well,
No, they're
I
not
think
legal.
If they're not legal, I'm not doing them here
Okay.
because I'm on a visa. I don't want
Right.
to mess that up. I love living in America, and
You don't
so
get
we'll go
kicked out.
to where they're like Colorado or something.
I'll tell you what. I will take him for you.
Dude, there's so much research going into
Yeah.
psychedelics,
Psychedelics,
mushrooms, and all that sort of stuff for
microdosing.
PTSD,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff. So, look, I'm not against any of that stuff. I think tobacco and liquor kill far more
Yeah.
people than
Oh, they're legal
all of
in
these
California.
illegal drugs.
You're good in California, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So for me, the especially with the mushrooms, the next day, I feel so much more. Enlightened's not the right word.
California,
but I feel so
illegal.
much more aware of being alive. Like I
Really?
feel the day after mushrooms, I feel so
Connected.
Yeah, I really do.
I've
But
heard
here's
that.
here it
I
gets
really
tricky.
do.
It says legalized in Oakland, California, and Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
Oh, so
they
so
decriminalize them.
cities.
They
Cities.
decriminalize them there. Yeah.
Okay. It's like where I grew up in Canberra in Australia. It was the only state that marijuana was decriminalized. So you wouldn't get a criminal record for having a personal stash. But funnily enough, it's the same state where the politicians sit. So the same state where
Interesting.
fireworks and
Yeah.
like what do they call those things? Like peak bars where you go into a box and you pay money into a hole and there's a chick taking off
peep
clothes.
shows. Oh,
yeah,
peep shows, peep shows. So yeah, that was legal there as well. Nowhere else in the whole of Australia, just where the politicians live.
Yeah, it's
Well,
funny.
He's not gonna do mushrooms with you. It's illegal.
All right. Well, I'll do them for both of us, and then I'll let you know how it goes.
I'll just watch you.
Yeah. No, that won't make me feel good.
Just lead you astray, start telling you crazy stories with military.
Let me tell you what it felt like to get bit.
Yeah.
No.
I love it.
That would
Dude.
be no.
Yeah, we didn't
Paul,
get into
we love
any
you,
of
man.
that.
You got open door policy here, man. Anytime
Thank you, man.
come
Appreciate
in,
it.
come
So
in,
good to
brother.
see you again.
Striker coffee. I got to get some.
Dude, I'll send you some. I got
do
you.
it.
Also,
Whatever.
I got to say, you love whiskey. I just found out. My buddy Blake runs the Los Angeles distillery.
I'm a whiskey connoisseur.
I hate whiskey. I love their whiskey. I'm a
we
mezcal
drink
tequila
tequila.
guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, but
Whiskey
the
all day.
Los Angeles distillery, they've got whiskey, they've got sailor strength rum. No, is it sailor or pirate strength rum? Like strong,
dude, set it
awesome.
up, bro.
They
What
got
are we doing?
bourbon. They
What are we
got
doing?
yeah.
Let's
I'm
do it.
going to get some. I'll bring it in.
This Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm at Salt Lake Wise Guys. The only tickets available are late show Thursday, late show Saturday. That's tfatk.com for tickets. That's it, man.
I'm in Boise at the end of the month. You can go to my website, comedianjoshwolf.com. come watch me, guys. We talk about the mushrooms and the weed every Monday night on my Facebook fan page. I take mushrooms and smoke weed and turn on my camera.
People love it.
It's ridiculous. I draw pictures. I read children's books. It's the weirdest hour you'll spend.
I got a new book coming out this year.
I'll read it for you.
Yeah, it's called Uncaged.
I want to give one shout out, man, to my friends. Puma's been delivering shoes to the people at Cedar Sinai. Shoes. And I just want to say thank you to them publicly for taking care of the nurses and the doctors and sending out stuff. They always support and do good things for people. So I want to give a giant shout out to them.
Cool, man.
Awesome.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thanks, brother.
Love you guys.